let me take you there. You see, I've been around the globe. I've seen a lot, babe. But I wanna see what's above. I wanna see what's below. Just tell me where you wanna go. You can name the place, yeah, you can name the time. We can leave it all behind. No stop or rewind. Before we running out of time. I can see us both flying around, chilling in a pool right by the coast. I can see our clothes down on the floor. I can see it all, baby, we should go. Get set, go, take off. Tell me where you wanna go. North Pole, East, West, baby, I'll go anywhere. We'll take a plane and take a boat. I don't really care, just as long as it will get us there. Cause I wanna see what's above. I wanna see what's below. Just tell me where you wanna go. You can name the place, yeah, you can name the time. We can leave it all behind. No stop or rewind. Before we running out of time. I can see us both flying around, chilling in a pool right by the coast. I can see our clothes down on the floor. I can see it all, baby, we should go. Get set, go, take off. We can leave it all behind. Right. Before we running out of time. I can see us both flying around, chilling in a pool right by the coast. I can see our clothes down on the floor. I can see it all, maybe we should both get set, go, take off.
Girl, you got me shook from the way your body looks. Got me riding hooks, got me feeling like a rook. I don't do it by the book, but for you I'll take a look. Don't know what your mama took, sweet and spicy like a cook, yeah. I'll keep it real, let's make a deal. Buy you a meal if you just let me feel. Get out your heels, grab on the wheel. Back to my place at the top of the hill. Don't have regrets, I know what's next. She need a fresh, I'll be back in a sec. Look at them legs, don't make me beg. Back to the room, let me show you my bed. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. I could look at you all day, Watch the way them hips sway. Love your body, so I pray. Don't you dare take it away. Can't control what I say. Lost my mind cause your frame. Hey girl, what's your name? Lit me up just like a flame. Body in motion, I feel the commotion. Beyond you like lotion, I'm honest and broken. I flow like the ocean, I feel you were chosen. To fix me, I'm broken, my heart that you stolen. Hey, stay with me, play with me, lay with me. Hate to see when you leave, chemistry feels like it's destiny. I just want you laying next to me, and I really don't want you to ever leave. On your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. I feel so bright, I feel so gifted, I feel so high, I feel so lifted. By my side is where you're sitting, in my life is where you fit in, yeah. I never thought that I would get this far. I wanna drive around in the nice cars.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the NEXXTCAR Racing League here on iRacing. Tonight, the NEXXTCAR Truck Series heads to a legendary track of NASCAR's past, Rockingham Speedway. The Rock, one of the bumpiest, toughest tracks that these drivers are going to face all season long. Rockingham has been known for its amazing races and even greater finishes. Are we in for another NEXXTCAR photo finish? Last week, Andrew Bolander was able to hold off Peyton Tulloch and the rest of the 25 truck field to secure his spot in the Season 4 NEXXTCAR Truck Series playoffs. Who will add their name to the list tonight, or will we have a repeat winner of Dunford or Bolander? This is the NEXXTCAR Racing League, and it's time to go racing classic style at The Rock.
It has to happen. Gotta prove myself. It has to happen like this, like this. You're going up against the greatest, and it's gonna get messy. If you wanna try to test me, you're going up against the greatest. Take a swing, you're gonna miss me. Yeah, it's going down in history. I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the NEXXTCAR Racing League here on iRacing for Week 3 here of Season 4 at Rockingham Speedway. Man, a track from NASCAR's past known as The Rock. This is going to be one of the toughest challenges these drivers have to face all season long. And it's going to be awesome to see just how these drivers face those challenges and how do they overcome the adversity that I'm sure is going to happen tonight. This is a 1 mile track and it races fast. It's narrow. You saw Slide Job City in practice. It is going to be a fun one tonight, folks. So strap in, grab the popcorn, because it's going to be a wild one tonight around this 1 mile track called The Rock. It's got its nickname for a reason. It's tough, it's bad, it's fast, and it's wild. But these guys are getting ready to head to qualifying here. As you can see, there are no trucks out on the track right now as they are heading to qualifying. So these drivers, they know what's at stake. You know, they got to see Andrew Bolander last week and Brandon Dunford in week 1 clinch their spot in the NEXXTCAR Truck Series playoffs. Well, now everybody wants to add their name to it as well, so the stakes are high. We only got 8 more races left in the regular season to make it happen, to make the playoffs. So these drivers, they know what's at stake as the season progresses through the regular season. Well, the anticipation, it's all going to get higher. The intensity, the beating and banging, the battling, and it all starts right here, right now at Rockingham Speedway. It's going to be a great race today. These drivers have got their hands full, no doubt about it. This is one of the bumpiest, toughest tracks that these drivers are going to face all season long. And not only that, it's only a mile long, folks. So these drivers on these straightaways, the front stretch, it's curved. The back stretch, well, it's called Thunder Alley for a reason, folks. It's fast, but you don't have time to react to anything around this track. The wrecks, yeah, they're going to be great. It's going to be very intense all race long, 175 laps tonight. The only breather that these guys are going to get throughout the 175 miles and laps is under caution and at that stage break. Oh, and did I mention we got stage racing back? You guys have seen it in the first 2 weeks, just how much that raised the intensity as the drivers were closing in on that stage break. So, folks, these drivers got a lot to worry about tonight on the track and off the track. Biggest thing, points. Points are key when it comes to racing. So let's go ahead and let's check out your point series standings. Sorry, there's your trucks. So there you go. In yellow, you can see Brandon Dunford and Andrew Bolander have clinched their spot in the playoffs with the win in your in-style playoffs for the NEXXTCAR Racing League. And then you got plus 34 above the cutoff line to Luck. Bollinger right behind him, plus 26, with J.D. Larson, a fantastic start to the season, plus 24. And then you got David Chandler down there in 6th place, plus 19. And then you got guys like Dylan Tibbetts. Unfortunately, Dylan Tibbetts is not going to be able to make the next 4 races, as he has obviously gone to do his job. So he's not going to be around for 4 races. Then he'll be able to come back and get back to the action on the track, but that's going to unfortunately drop him into points. But then you got guys like Babcock, Trudeau, Don Francisco, the rookie Ingram. You know, they're 9, 10, 12 points above the cutoff line. You know, you got Cole Larson, plus 8. And then you got Christopher Thomas, plus 8 as well. Stephen Henning, a fantastic start to the season, plus 7 above the cutoff line, with Dustin Bloodworth and Alberto Abar just 1 point above. And then you got Hunter Manley 1 below, and then David Smith minus 6. So a lot of guys going for 16 playoff positions in the NEXXTCAR Truck Series, and that adds to the intensity. It ramps everything up, and absolutely love it up here in the booth. But, you know, something we got to remember is, yeah, there might only be 18 drivers on that list, folks, but the Truck Series, they've got 32 drivers. So that is only half the field on that list right now. There are 16 other names below David Smith that want to get their name on that graphic. They want to get their name in yellow. They want to get that checkered flag next to their name. And it all starts right here at the Rock. It's going to be a good one, folks. These drivers, they know what's at stake. If you had a bad couple of weeks to start out the season like Matthew Tucker, well, it's looking like your only way to a championship, your back-to-back championship in the Truck Series, is possibly a win. Had a terrible start at Daytona to open up season 4. He fell and finished last, and then missed the race in Vegas last week. So definitely not the start to the season that our defending Truck Series champion wants, but we talked about it, folks. Adversity, it's all over the place. How do you overcome it? How do you step back into the ring? How do you get over it? How do you rebound from it? Well, Matt Tucker is one of the best in the business, so I have absolutely no doubt he is going to be able to recover perfectly. Let's go ahead and check out your Truck Series standings as well. So this is week 3, folks. Week 1 and 2 are over. Daytona and Las Vegas. This week's Rockingham. Next week does not get any easier for these guys as they head to Pocono Speedway for the first time ever in NEXXTCAR. So we don't really know what to expect when we go to Pocono. It is the land of the unknown. And then week 5 is Road America, your first and only road course of the season. And then, folks, we will be halfway through your regular season after Road America. Man, a lot has happened, and we're only 3 weeks into the season in both the Cup and Truck Series, and a lot of things have happened. And, man, we're in for a wild rest of the season. And then you got your playoffs all the way on the right over there. You know, you got Indianapolis, Darlington, Kansas in round 1. Not an easy round at all. And then round number 2, Auto Club and Dover. If you can make it to Homestead, Miami in the championship 4, you earned it, because those are no easy rounds and the path to the championship in the Truck Series. But, folks, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get your how everyone is lining up right now. We have got several guys that have put down a time here. 17 people have put down a time, with Jonathan Duncan looking to grab his first pole, and he will grab his first pole of the season. What a qualifying run for the rookie. And how about the other rookie? One of the other ones, Christopher Pendell in second, showing these veterans, hey, we might be rookies in the NEXXTCAR Racing League, but we're going to come out here firing. I mean, just look at the Cup Series side of the league. 2 rookies have won both races to start this season. Hunter Manley at Daytona, and then last week at Las Vegas went to Franks Jr. Absolutely fantastic to see the rookies up here, you know, battling with the veterans. So absolutely love to see it. But Jonathan Duncan grabbing what is sure to be his first pole of the season. We've got 24 drivers in the lobby right now, but only 17 decided to put down a qualifying lap. So these drivers have just over a minute until the gridding process. So, folks, these drivers, it's their last chance to grab a drink, grab a cold one, grab a breath, because it's going to get wild here around this 1 mile track of Rockingham Speedway. Let's go ahead and let's check out your race details for tonight. We are 1 mile track here in week number 3 of season 4 at Rockingham Speedway for the Welcome Back to the Rock 175, presented by HVAC Designs and W Energy. We've said it several times. It's a 1 mile track, folks. 75-degree Fahrenheit air temperature. The sky is clear, not a cloud in sight. The sun is shining, and that track temperature, 123 degrees. Just when you didn't think this track could get any tougher on these guys, these trucks are going to be slipping. They're going to be sliding. These drivers are going to have to be on top of their game tonight, because at 123 degree Fahrenheit, folks, these drivers, they're going to be slipping. They're going to be sliding. They are going to have to do everything they can to keep that truck under control, especially if you're on that inside line. But, folks, you see it down there, 175 laps, 175 miles with your stage break at lap 80. And you see it, folks, they are heading to the grid to start this one. But these drivers, they have got their hands full tonight. No doubt about it. 4-mile-an-hour wind's not going to play a factor. The biggest thing is you now see the temperature is reset to 102 degrees Fahrenheit. It's still slick. It's still hot. These drivers, they're going to be slipping and sliding. They're going to have to race smart, race clean, but race with your elbows out, because I got a feeling this track, there's going to be a lot of slide jobs here. At the end of this one, this thing might turn into Slide Job City instead of Rockingham, North Carolina. But, folks, you can see it. These guys are gridding up, waiting for the pace truck to lead the field off the start-finish line. And then we will cue up your pole sitter, Jonathan Duncan, and see what he's going to do to get that number 88 National Guard Chevy Silverado into victory lane here in this one. But let's go ahead and let's check out your starting grid for tonight's race. Jonathan Duncan first, Christopher Pendell second. Row number 2 is going to go to Chandler and Tulloch, with Don Francisco and Bloodworth right behind them. Cedric Ingram and Alberto Abar back there in 7th and 8th, with Christopher Thomas and Matt Tucker rounding out your top 10. 11th is going to go to Steve Bocock, with Robert Babcock in 12th, with J.D. Larson and Nicholas Trudeau rounding out your 7th row. 8th row is going to go to the way of David Smith and Camden Jesser, who had a fantastic race last week at Vegas until an unfortunate event took himself out of it. Zachary Brooks had a great race at Vegas as well in the Cup Series. Well, he's starting 17th tonight with your last week's winner, Andrew Brolander, in 18th. Frank Hughes Jr., winner on the Cup Series side of things last week in Vegas. He's starting 19th, and Cole Larson running out your top 20. Colin Bollinger in 21st with Stephen Henning in 22nd. Obviously, we're not racing. And then Jimmy Emos is going to be in the 24th position. Well, folks, you see it. The pace truck leading the field off the line for the first time tonight. What do you say we jump down there and let's get an interview with your pole sitter? Jonathan Duncan, it's Ronnie up in the booth. You got me, buddy.
Jonathan, you're not in all teams. Probably trying to talk to you. Sorry, should be good now.
All right, buddy. Congrats on your first pull. How are you going to get that truck into victory lane tonight?
Oh, just going to try to save some tire. Hopefully keep it clean. We'll see. Who knows?
Absolutely, brother. Good luck tonight. All right, folks. You see it. The pace truck leading the field out of turn 4 for the first time tonight. Heading into the Geico restart zone. We are green flag here at the Rock. Jonathan Duncan spins the tires on the initial start. Big caution here to start the race. Oh, man. That is not the way you want to start the night here after getting the pull. Mayhem on lap 1 for your pole sitter. He spun the tires bad and just enough to not be able to rebound. You know, you see it a lot at these classic NASCAR tracks. We go back to them. The same exact thing happened when we went to North Wilkesboro for the first time. And now it strikes again here at the Rock. He guns it up right there and just spins those rear tires right around. He goes up into paint until luck. Alberto Abar goes around. The 34 goes around as well with the 48 and 22 of Zachary Brooks in it as well. Not the way you want to start the race for a lot of these guys here tonight. Let's jump back and let's go see what Alberto Abar saw here in that number 13. You can see the 88 up there on that inside line, leading it right in front of the 1 and just spins them tires right around. Goes Alberto. Absolutely nowhere to go for the guys behind him, and they all pile up here on the front stretch after the drop of the green flag. Let's see what David Chandler saw out of his front windshield here. Obviously the leader right in front of him, spinning the tires big time. All's good. The pace truck hooks that hard left on the pit road. And then bam. Let's jump inside the cockpit of Jonathan Duncan. Let's watch his hands here. Watch those hands on the left side of the screen. You can see it right there. He's fighting it, trying to get it back under control, but just couldn't do it. Not the start to the race that you ever want to have, man. Well, under caution for the first time tonight. Definitely not the way you want to start the race if you are your pole sitter. But hey, got to put that behind you. We mentioned it. The adversity tonight is going to be insane. Well, it's already showing itself here tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see how do these drivers overcome that. Several drivers still on pit road with damage. Nicholas Trudeau sitting on pit road. Now he's down and away. Camden Jester, David Smith. You saw all three of those guys, especially David Smith spinning at the end of it with Zachary Brooks. Zachary Brooks was able to get down and away in that 22, so he's back out there. Alberto Abar's back out and running as well in that number 13 Toyota. Andrew Bolian with a beautiful number 8 throwback to Dale Jr. Absolutely loving that scheme. The Junior Motorsports Chevy. A bunch of these guys running different schemes. I know Matthew Erickson, he's been very busy the last couple of weeks, knocking out a bunch of paint schemes for people. Where is he? Cole Larson just got his new scheme. You can see it right there, the Chicago Bears and Chicago Cubs joint scheme there. So Erickson's been very busy lately, and we got him working on a special scheme for us here. Not going to spoil the details, and I cannot wait to see that thing in action. But, hey, we're going back racing this time, folks. The lights are off on that pace truck. These drivers, after seeing what just happened.
Hang on, we're not going green.
All right, we are not going green. The lights are back on the pace truck. We are going to be extending it one more lap, and then we're going to be going green. As you can see, Trudeau and Camden going around. A couple others getting waved around to get their lap back here. But after seeing what just happened on that restart, folks, how careful is Christopher Pendel on this restart? Now, all the eyes are going to be on that 94 truck. How do you overcome that? You know, after seeing the pole sitter, Jonathan Duncan, just do what he did and take out several trucks in the initial start, how do you make sure you don't become the next one to do that? It's going to be interesting to see just how these drivers overcome these challenges tonight. I said it. Rockingham is a tough old track, and it's already showing it here on lap 1, getting ready to go back racing at the completion of lap 6. All right, Christopher Pendel dropping to the back. That is going to hand the lead over to David Chandler and Nicholas Donfrancisco. Not exactly sure what that was all about, but it looks like we're going back racing this time here, folks, to complete lap 6. Don Francisco is going to lead the field back to the green flag. Now all the eyes on the 24. Does he get a clean start? He spins him a little bit, keeps it under control. We are now underway here at the Rock. Down the backstretch here of Thunder Alley. David Chandler looking to the inside of the 24. Don Francisco pushes up a little bit. You can see the bumps, just how bumpy this track is. Chandler had to jump out of it, so he didn't drive up into the side of Don Francisco. And Don Francisco is going to lead you back to complete your first green lap of racing here tonight. Matthew Tucker trying to work his way up through the field here, up to third. Remember, we talked about him, not the start to the season. Your defending series champion wanted. Well, now he's worked his way up to third, +7 on that initial restart. Right now, your biggest mover of the race is that 20 truck right behind him of Cole Larson, up into that 4th position with Daddy JD right behind him in the 18. The Larsons, remember, those two have worked together perfectly throughout their time here in NEXXTCAR. They always seem to find themselves bumper to bumper, side by side, so absolutely no shock to see those guys running together, and it's not a shock to see them in the top 5 either at the start of this one, because each one of those guys have been improving drastically as the seasons have gone by. And now, Cole Larson looking to the inside of Matthew Tucker through 1 and 2. That inside line just does not seem to be the way around this track here early on. It's going to be interesting to see if that line changes. You can see now they're going to go to the inside line, but that inside line just does not seem to be the way to get around a guy here at Rockingham. Now you got the 34 of Robert Babcock all over the back bumper of Peyton Tulloch. You saw Tulloch involved in that one on that initial restart. He was put up into the outside wall there by Jonathan Duncan, and he's been able to get it up into the 7th position. I don't think he took a fast repair or anything. I do see a little bit of damage to the left side of that 17, so obviously nothing that is detrimental to that 17 Chevy. Back in the back, we got some good battling here with Frank Hughes Jr. and David Smith. This is back here for the 17th and 16th position. David Smith currently holds that 16th position all over the back bumper of Stephen Henning in the 27. Henning had himself a fantastic race at Daytona to start out the season. Oh, we're going to have contact out back between Jimmy Emos and Camden Jester, that's going to bring out your second caution. No, we're going to stay green. It looked like Camden Jester just lost it out of turn number 2. Now he's going to have to limp that 21 NOS Chevy Silverado to pit road. We're going to stay green here on lap 13 as Nicholas Don Francisco has pulled out to just over a half-second lead. Chandler not too far back, 0.54 with Matt Tucker right behind him. Where does Tucker go to try to make this pass? Remember, we just saw where that inside line was not working exactly how they probably wanted it to. Let's jump inside the cockpit of that 25 of Matthew Tucker down Thunder Alley backstretch. Running right behind David Chandler here into turns 3 and 4. You can see just how much they're having to saw that wheel back and forth. This track is bumpy. It's fast. It's narrow. And these drivers looking to try to set each other up here in this one. Down the backstretch they go. Bumper to bumper. Still a huge battle for second. Wow. Closing in on Don Francisco out front. Big battle back here around the 8th position. From Babcock to Pendel. You could throw a blanket over 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Now, Pendel looking to the outside of Tulloch. He's going to drive it in deep. Now, he's worked his way up there. He's going to get the big run off that high line. He's going to clear the 17 of Tulloch down the backstretch. Now, picking his next target of Cedric Ingram in that 19 Chevy. All over his back bumper. Beautiful turn out of the corner out of turn 4. Gets that truck pointed down low. He's going to get to the inside of 19 now. How's he going to get it done here in turns 1 and 2 with a slide job heading down through turns 1 and 2, now down the backstretch. Cedric Ingram not being very aggressive here at the early set of this one. 17 laps into this one. Still a long way to go. Dusty Bloodworth, he's lost 6 positions since the start of this one, looking to rebound, now back there in that 12th position. Obviously, your biggest loser of the race so far, Jonathan Duncan, minus 16 positions in that 88 National Guard Chevy Silverado. That initial restart just got back to the gas, spun the tires, and right around he went along with several others. You know, that's the worst. When you do it, you know, it's always bad when you do it anyway, when you spin the tires. We did it last week at Vegas, and it cost us a shot at the win. We were able to come away to the top 5, but, you know, it's always bad when you spin the tires, and it's even worse when you do it on the initial start of the race, when everyone's all bunched up. It's, you know, the green flag just got dropped for the first time of the night, and it always happens on cold, fresh tires, so not a shock. Like I said, it's just... it seems to happen a lot on these classic NASCAR tracks that we go to. You know, it happened season 1 when we went to North Wilkesboro. And I think it was Don Francisco, if I'm not mistaken, that did it on the start. He was down on that inside line, did it, and had to save it across the nose of the guy on the outside line of Andrew Bolander. And, yeah, definitely it happens a lot on these classic tracks. And something else that happens a lot is the battling. And you are seeing a lot of battles all the way around this track. Now, Jonathan Duncan looking to bring the battle to David Smith to the inside of that 48. He's going to clear him out of 2. David Smith, major implications out of turn number 2. He's going to lose 3, maybe 4 spots here to Steve Bocock. Here comes Henning looking to pounce as well. David Smith not going in the right direction here on lap 22. But out front, we got a battle for the lead side by side. Don Francisco and Chandler. And here comes Tucker right behind him. That's going to get tight out of 4. I thought Tucker was going to look for 3-wide action. Thinks better of it. Tucks in by Chandler. Chandler throws a block on Tucker as he goes to the outside. Tucker looking to the outside of David Chandler here through turns 1 and 2. What can he do? Chandler holding him off perfectly down the backstretch. Now, Matt Tucker looking to try to set him up here through turns 3 and 4. Chandler's going to lose the bottom there a little bit. Raises up the track, but Tucker not close enough to pounce, and here comes Don Francisco right back at him. Don Francisco now all over the back bumper. Matthew Tucker, Don Francisco, 1 lap ago was leading, now finds himself in 3rd. Can he get back up there? Steve Bocock, you see it 5 laps down in this one here on lap 25. Not the start to the race that Bocock wanted. Heavy damage in that initial start crash. Now 5 laps down in that number 12. But back out front, Tucker looking to bring the battle right back to the back bumper of the one of David Chandler and the Bud Light Platinum Toyota. Trying to get that big turn out of turn number 4. Not going to get it done, but he's going to close up that gap a little bit now. Just 0.17 behind him. Oh, Chandler's into the wall heading into turn number 1. Tucker not close enough to take advantage. That's going to make Chandler miss the bottom entry there and through turns 1 and 2. Like I said, Tucker not quite close enough to take advantage of it. But, man, you don't want to do too many hard hits like that into the outside wall. Now here comes Don Francisco looking to the outside of Tucker now. Has to tuck in behind him. Now looking to his inside. Not going to be able to get the momentum run through the front triangle. But Tucker almost getting into the wall himself. Now Don Francisco all over the back bumper to 25. Bumper to bumper, your front 3. Now Chandler looking to check away from the field here on lap 28. Now Don Francisco looking to the inside of Tucker. Tucker, how aggressive does he get here on lap 28? Don Francisco, does he make him use up his tires side by side out of turn number 2? Tucker checks up, thought he's going to hit the wall there. Now dead even down into turn number 3. Tucker backs out of it. Don Francisco with a little bit of a slide job, but clear quite a bit as Tucker backed out of that side-by-side battle. Absolutely love to see it back out and live to see another lap here at the Rock. Robert Babcock holding his own right now in that 7th position. We saw him battling early on. Well, now he's been able to continue that strong run in a 7th position. But now a new guy joining the battle, Colin Bollinger, in that number 11. Remember, the 21 of Camden Jester is a couple laps down. He is sitting 13 laps down in this one in that number 21. But Colin Bollinger has joined the battle for 7th with Robert Babcock. Right behind them, Andrew Bollinger kind of in the land of his own here in that number 8 with Cedric Ingram right behind him. But Bollinger, remember, he won last week at at Las Vegas. So he's already secured his spot in the playoffs in the NEXXTCAR playoffs. So definitely look to see him be a little more aggressive as this race progresses. And Nick Trudeau working his way around the outside of Christopher Thomas. That is for the 11th position. Christopher Thomas continues his strong run in that number 5 Chevy. He started this season off very strong at Daytona in the trucks. Now, looking to back that up with a very strong performance here tonight at Rockingham. Nick Trudeau's worked his way up to the 11th position. He's rebounded very nicely as well, +3 since the start of the race. David Chandler really starting to pull away out front. Just over half a second lead now over over Don Francisco and Tucker. Tucker has fallen big time off the back bumper of Don Francisco. You can see the gap right there. Tucker was all over the back bumper of Don Francisco, but Don Francisco got by him there when Tucker backed out of a side-by-side battle and now finds himself 1.8 seconds back from your leader. Christopher Pendell, he's worked his way up into the 4th position with Cole Larson right behind him in 5th. And Payne Tulloch has worked his way up into the 6th. Where has J.D. Larson gone? J.D. Larson's all the way back here in the 16th position in that number 18 Toyota. Remember, not too long ago, he was up there in the top 5 battling with his son for 4th. Now finds himself back here with Abar and Henning battling for that 16th position. Abar looking to try to rebound from that initial wreck on lap 1. He got heavy damage in that number 13. Now just buying his time after using that fast repair. Actually, he didn't use a fast repair. He still got quite a bit of damage on the back bumper. Now looking to the inside of J.D. Larson. You saw just how tight that got out of 2. Alberto hooked it hard left to stay out of the back. Has to lock the brakes up big time to stay out of the back of J.D. Larson. Now all over the back bumper of the 18. Here comes Henning. Here comes Brooks. Now a little bit of a gap. Alberto's throwing it in there a little deep as well. Back all over the back bumper to the 18. Big run out of turn number 2 for Henning. Here comes Henning. Has nowhere to go with it. Zachary Brooks, a big move. Now Alberto to the outside of the 18, who's going to stack it up behind him. He's going to go around with Henning. This might just bring out your second caution, and we stay green. No, caution's out for the second time tonight. Right in front of the leaders. He's going to keep it out of the leaders, and the leaders are going to go around, and we are under caution for the second time tonight. Let's back it up and see what exactly happened with that 18. You saw Alberto Abar on his outside. Alberto with a big run on that high line. The 18, he got on the apron right there. Pushes up, and then Brooks and Henning just nowhere to go. You saw Brooks just not able to check up in time. Running into the back of Henning, who got into the back of Larson. Brooks had himself a big run, too, looking to the high line. Had a great run out of turn number 2. And then right there, just all stacks up in front of him. Nowhere to go for Brooks in the 22. Let's jump inside the cockpit of that number 22 Chevy. And right around he goes. That's how quick things happen here at The Rock. And that's what I said in the pre-race, folks. The wrecks are going to be great tonight. But we are under caution for the second time tonight. And Pit Road is the busiest place in the city. But we're going to step away here for a quick break, folks. Don't go anywhere because the racing's been great. And it's going to get even greater here at the NASCAR Legendary Classic track of Rockingham Speedway.
I could say it out loud. I feel so bright, I feel so gifted, I feel so high, I feel so lifted. By my side is where you're sitting, in my life is where you fit in. I feel so bright, I feel so gifted, I feel so high, I feel so lifted. By my side is where you're sitting, in my life is where you fit in. I never thought that I would get this far. I wanna drive around in the nice cars. I wanna forget about my scars and just have a good night. I smoke something down, I drink something down. I'm feeling it now, I'm feeling it now. I could say it out loud. When I see you, my heart goes down, 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 down. I could say it out loud. Down, 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 down. Say it out loud. Down, 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 down. Say it out loud. Down, down. I could say it out loud.
All right, folks, welcome back here to Rockingham Speedway for the NEXXTCAR Truck Series. We are getting ready to go back racing here in this one after just your second caution of the night. Your leader, David Chandler, electing to go to the outside in the new choose cone rule. Well, this is the first time we've really seen a leader in the season not take the inside line, but David Chandler has decided to go to the outside line now. That iRacing pace truck hooking a hard left. David Chandler leading the field back into the Geico Research Zone. We are under green here for the third time tonight. Up through the gears they go. bumper to bumper, side by side. Chandler does not get the launch that he wanted. Don Francisco, big save down there on the apron. Now, that's going to give Chandler the lead here out of turn number 2. Now, Don Francisco driving it in deep. Here comes Christopher Pendel in that 94 Ford F-150. Looking to the outside of Don Francisco. Big run out of turn number 4 for the 94. Pendel, big move to the outside of Don Francisco, taking full advantage of these brand new tires immediately. Don Francisco loses it on the inside. Now Tucker, I thought was going to be close enough to look to his inside, decides not to. But now Pendel setting sights on your leader, David Chandler. Big move to the outside. Chandler blocks it. To the inside goes the 94. Pendel side by side heading into turn number 1. Chandler outside. Pendel inside. Here comes Don Francisco back to the outside. Powering his way to the outside. He's taken back second with authority. Pendel way up the track. Here comes Tucker coming back at him. Here comes the 61 of Frank Hughes Jr. Pendel's going to get loose out of turn number 2. Now Tucker powering his way to the outside. Here comes 61 as well. Now Tucker, he's going to send it in there on the outside of Pendel. That's going to get tight out of 4. They're going to keep it going straight. Pendel's trying to hold his own on those tires. But out front, we got a battle for your lead side by side. Chandler outside. Don Francisco inside. Dead even out of turn number 2. Chandler doesn't get that big outside run that he was expecting. Now here comes Don Francisco. Throws it in there deep. Slides up the track. Keeps it out of the side of the one. Now Chandler pinching him off the corner. They keep it going straight. Dead even. Drag race at the line goes to Chandler. Right behind these guys, another great side-by-side battle. Now, Pendel looking to put Tucker behind him, and he will. Now, here comes Hughes with the big run down the backstretch with nowhere to go. He's going to go to the outside of your defending Truck Series champion. Thinks better of it, backs out of it, side-by-side again for second, but now Don Francisco's going to hold his own this time. Side by side, right back here for 10th. Cedric Ingram currently holds that 10th position. Peyton Tilluck looking for it all. He's going to get loose out of turn number 2. He's going to clear Cedric. That 17's back up inside the top 10. But now Don Francisco looking to bring the battle right back to the leader. He's now just 0.17 seconds behind David Chandler in the 1. Now throws it in there deep into turns 1 and 2. Lets it run up off the corner. He's going to get a big run out of turn number 2. What's he going to do with it? Not quite close enough to make a move down into turn number 3, but if he gets another fantastic turn number 3, he's going to be right there at the start-finish line. Now, looking to the outside, cutting it down underneath. Does not quite get his truck underneath Chandler, but now all over the back bumper, heading down into turn number 1. Bumper to bumper, your front 3. Now, Don Francisco, once again, lets the truck run up the corner. Tries to get the big run off the corner. He's going to get the big run. Once again, not quite close enough to the inside of Chandler to make a move, but here comes Pendel looking. Tucker has got his hands full right behind him with Frank Hughes Jr., who's got his hands full of Bollinger behind him. Side by side out front for the lead. Don Francisco gets to the outside of Chandler this time. Don Francisco almost up into the wall out of 2. That's going to allow Chandler to continue his momentum run on that inside line. Now side by side, fender to fender here at the lead on lap 51. Oh, contact between the leaders. The 24 comes down on the 1. Chandler keeps it going straight. He's going to save it heading into turn number 1. Oh, man. That is not going to make the driver of the 1 very happy there. I can guarantee you that one. We stay green. Fantastic job by David Chandler. An absolute wheelman of a drive to save that Toyota. We don't normally do this during live action, folks, but when it's something like that, we back it up and we take a look. Watch David Chandler. Just Don Francisco comes straight down the track into him. But what a job by the 1 of David Chandler. And I think he expected Chandler to cut lower on the tri-oval. Just kind of a racing incident, honestly, there. But What a wheelman of a job by the one of David Chandler to not slide up in front of traffic right there. But we stay green. And through all that, Christopher Pendel, the hard charger here on this second stint, has taken a lead in that number 94 over Don Francisco. Frank Hughes is falling back to just under a second behind your leader. Christopher Bollinger right behind him in fifth with J.D. Larson in sixth. His dad, J.D. Larson, back in 19th, one lap down. What a turn of events for that 18 truck. You can see the damage after that incident on the backstretch that brought out your second caution. So just limping that 18 around here. Probably going to wait until that stage break, get a little more of that damage fixed, and get that 18 back into race competitive competition. But back out front, we still got ourselves a heck of a battle for the lead. Your front three, you can throw an absolute blanket over. There's your front five right there, folks. You can throw a blanket over your front three. Now, Don Francisco did not get the exit out of turn 4 that I think he wanted. Now, here comes Tucker trying to do something with it, but it's just so hard to get momentum here. And Frank Hughes Jr. doing a whale of a job holding off the 11 of Colin Bollinger here in this one. Frank Hughes, your Cup Series winner last week at Las Vegas, looking to ride the high momentum here into the Rock. Now, David Smith really slow on the apron in that 48. Oh, watch out! That's going to get tight! The 61 of Frank Hughes runs into the back of him. They're going to keep it going straight. Caution's out for the third time tonight. David Smith, I'm not exactly sure what happened to that 48, why he was so slow. He lost it right there through turns 3 and 4. Right there through turns 3 and 4, pushes it up the track, tries to come down and keep it going, gets out of the leader's way. Not the way that 48 wanted to go, no doubt about it, because he had a strong start to this race. And then right there, the 61 just runs right into the back of him, and up the track he goes in front of the 11 of Colin Bollinger, who's going to go around on the backstretch. But everyone else does a fantastic job of missing him. Who just about ran him over right here? Trying to figure out who that was that just missed him. That was Christopher Thomas. Let's go to Christopher Thomas' view here in that number 5. Let's back it up here and see just how close that was. You can see the incident happening up in front of him. Right there. Watch the outside wall. He lifts. Thinks the 11's going up high. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's about as close as it gets right there. He thought the 11 was going to continue going back up towards that outside wall. And then right back down the track he goes. See if we can't get a better look at it here. Whew. That's close right there, folks. But Christopher Thomas, another great save by that number 5. And we are under caution for just the third time tonight here on lap 60. What a start to this race, honestly. 3 cautions and 60 laps at a track like this. These drivers have definitely been driving they've done a good job. Not sure where I was going with that statement, but they've done a fantastic job here in the start of this one. But Christopher Pendel finding himself in the lead here in this one with a great battle with the leaders from Aberdeen, Ohio. Christopher Pendel had himself a whale of a start under that last caution, taking full advantage of the new tires, got up there, had a couple big saves himself, and then now leading the field under this caution from Aberdeen, Ohio, Christopher Pendel. Second's going to go to the way of Nicholas Don Francisco from Stanton, Virginia, and that number 24 Chevy Silverado. He's had a fantastic race so far, found himself battling for the lead the majority of this race, with Matthew Tucker no shy of that lead as well from Anderson, Indiana. He's found himself battling for the lead several times Frank Hughes Jr. You saw him just involved in that incident running into the back of the 48 of David Smith. Fantastic race. Like I said, Frank Hughes, he won the Cup Series race at Las Vegas last week, riding the high momentum here in Rockingham with Nicholas Trudeau, slowly but surely from Charlton, Massachusetts, working his way up through this field as well. +9 since the start of the green flag. Frank Hughes Jr. +15, and Cole Larson +14 in that 20 truck right behind him. Peyton Tulloch -3, Christopher Thomas +1, Jonathan Duncan -7. Obviously, he was your pole sitter, but implications on the initial start of this race has put himself back in traffic in that 9th position with David Chandler rounding out your top 10 from Gainesville, Florida. But we are again ready to go back racing here at Rockingham. Third caution of the night, your 4th restart. Pendel, Don Francisco make up row 1 with Hughes and Tucker in that 2nd row. 3rd row is going to go to Cole Larson and Nick Trudeau. The pace truck back on pit road, and big start by the 94. Oh, man, that's going to stack everything up behind him. Caution's out for the 4th time tonight as Andrew Bolander's going to get involved in this one. Your last week's Truck Series winner. Christopher Pendel. Let's start out with Christopher Pendel here. Let's watch for that restart zone. Oh, yeah. That's going to be interesting to see how that one is ruled. Goes way before the line right there. Oh, yeah. You can see where the restart zone is. Right. Whoop, 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 whoop. Sorry about that. Clicked the wrong button. Right there, gasses it up. Right there, that double white line right there is the start of the restart box. And that stacks up Don Francisco, who had to gas it up real quick. He spun the tires. Comes up in front of the 61. The 61 spins the tires as well. He has to chase it down the track. Comes down into Tuck. There's your the second white line of the Geico restart zone, right behind the 61 and the 25. So the 94 took off way before the restart zone. Major implications for the 61 to 25 right there. And then what exactly happened to Andrew Bolander? He was your big... Oh, Babcock got him. Babcock spun the rear tires as well. And when he did, he came up and clipped Bolander. Right there. Just clips the 8. That was not the best restart. These restarts tonight have been very eventful for these guys. But it's going to be interesting to see how that one is ruled by race control in that 94's favor on that restart. Because in my eyes, he went way before that Geico restart zone. Let's see if... Hey, Erickson. It's Ronnie in the booth. You got me, buddy.
Going.
All right, man. So, don't normally do this during the race, but I just wanted to come down here and see how you're doing. So, that 94, man, how's that restart going to be handled there?
We're just looking at it right now.
Copy that.
We're just reviewing. Yep, we're looking at it right now. He's going to get a black flag for jumping the start there because he started before the box.
Copy that. Yeah, maybe we'll start doing this. Instead of you just being in here all by yourself, maybe we'll just have you be like a pit reporter or something.
Yeah, hey, I'm fine with that.
Absolutely. But I'll let you get back to doing your thing here because these restarts have been insane.
They're a mess. They're a mess. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely, buddy. All right, well, you can see it, the field side by side once again here. The 94, Christopher Pendel, looking to get a better restart this time. Don Francisco underneath him in the 24 with Matt Tucker in the 61 behind him. Now, these restarts, you heard it from Erickson himself. These restarts have been a mess. And that's what you get on these classic NASCAR tracks. Absolutely love it. Like I said in the pre-race, these drivers were going to have challenges all around tonight. And these restarts, I didn't think they were going to be honestly a challenge. That was one factor I left out. But tonight, they have been anything but a walk in the park for these drivers tonight. Now, green flags back out here at the Rock. Several guys spinning their tires once again. You see the 20 of Larson spinning them. The 61 spun them. Tucker trying to take advantage to the inside. Tucker's going to push the 61 up off the corner there. Better be careful with that because you can very easily lose it here. Still side by side for third. Tucker, big save heading into turn number 1. What a save by the 25. You saw the smoke. You saw the tire marks. He had them tires locked up. Now, Trudeau looking to pounce on that. Gets a big run out of turn number 4. Looks to the outside of Tuck while Tuck looks back to the inside of Hughes. Now, Tucker, up the track he goes. Here comes Trudeau to his outside. 10 laps until your stage break here at the Rock, and these guys know it. The intensity picking up. To Luck up to 6, just getting past Cole Larson with Christopher Thomas right behind them in 8th. Right now, Jonathan Duncan, your pole sitter, battling for the 10th and final stage point here of the night with Dustin Bloodworth putting a battle. The 88 gets loose and pushes up the track out of 2. That's going to stack him up, but that's going to give 10th to Bloodworth. Still a long way to go to the end of the stage here in this one. 9 laps to go. Big battle. Trudeau trying to get everything he can here at the end of this one. Looking for third. Hughes up the track. Trudeau with a slide job. He's barely clear. Big save by the 89. Heads up move by the 61 to not just wreck the 89. Trudeau barely clear on that slide job. Like I said, this might just turn into slide job city at the end of this one. And there really truly was your first big slide job moment of the race. Now, Frank Hughes Jr., what does he do to get back at Trudeau? Trudeau going for everything he's got. Cole Larson doing the same. Look at to the inside of Thomas. Now has to worry about Chandler on his outside. Remember, Chandler had a fantastic race going and then got into it with the 24 Don Francisco. Now, Chandler finds himself back in traffic, battling here for the 8th position, looking to get up there and battle his buddy Christopher Thomas for 7th. Christopher Thomas, a fantastic race so far through this one, finding himself up there inside the top 10. Frank Hughes Jr. a little slow out of turn number 4. That's going to stack up Peyton Tulloch behind him. Now, Matthew Tucker looking to use the 61 as a pick against the 17, but Peyton able to drive it through turns 1 and 2 perfectly. He's going to clear Tucker. Tucker has to fall in behind him. Christopher Pendel continues to lead the field here. 5 laps to go to the end of the stage. Here comes Trudeau, taking full advantage of the tires. Trying to get back up there. He's up to 3rd position. Now Frank Hughes, big save behind him. That's going to open up the door for Peyton Tulloch, but not able to take full advantage of it. Here comes Christopher Thomas looking to the inside of Tucker. And also here comes David Chandler looking to the outside of Christopher Thomas. bumper to bumper through the tri-oval. 3 to go. Thomas is going to push up just ever so slightly, not able to take the air off that 25. Tucker able to hold on to it, save it. 5. Christopher Thomas with the save of the night so far here in this one out of turn number 2. Here comes Chandler back at him. Through all that, Thomas never lifted, stays glued to the back bumper to the 25. Looking to the inside of Tuck now. Now pushing up once again through turns 1 and 2. Chandler looking to get the run. Christopher Thomas shuts the door on him, blocks that inside run as well, keeping David Chandler behind him. Christopher Pendel continues to lead the field here out front, just over a quarter of a second. But the big battle right now for second, Don Francisco and Trudeau. How aggressive does Trudeau get? Currently sitting a couple points above the cutoff line here in the Truck Series. So these points are going to be huge.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
There is your stage break, folks. Christopher Pendel is going to be your stage winner here in the Rock. Lap 80, your stage break. Caution is out for the 5th time tonight. But your top 10, Pendel, Don Francisco, Trudeau, Tulloch, Hughes, Tucker, Thomas, Chandler, Larson, and Bloodworth, all getting the stage break points in this one. But obviously, it's the man from Aberdeen, Ohio, Christopher Pendel, bringing home the top spot here in the stage break. But folks, pit road's busy, and we are going to step away here for a quick break here from the Rock. Don't go anywhere, because that's just the first stage. We have got a lot of racing left in this one. It's going to get good. You're not going to want to miss it.
Race and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon. Turn us to thousands, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go. Just tell me where you wanna go. Let me take you there. You see, I've been around the globe. I've seen a lot, babe. But I wanna see what's above. I wanna see what's below. Just tell me where you wanna go. You can name the place, yeah, you can name the time. We can leave it all behind. No stop or rewind. Before we running out of time. I can see us both flying around, chilling in a boat right by the coast. I can see our clothes down on the floor. I can see it all, baby, we should go. Get set, go, take off.
All right, folks, welcome back here to Rockingham Speedway here for the NEXXTCAR Truck Series after your stage break here tonight. Nicholas Don Francisco, with a fantastic pit stop, has taken over the lead. Christopher Pendel has fallen back to second. And now, these restarts have been absolute mayhem. These drivers going to be looking to put it behind them for sure. And let's get the second half of this race started. The pace truck hooking that hard left. Back onto pit road here. Out of turn number 4 he goes. The field and the control of Don Francisco's hand. Green flag is going to be back out here at the Rock here for the second half after the stage break. Great start by Nicholas Don Francisco. He's going to clear Pendel in the 94. Peyton Tulloch looking for it out of turn number 2. Here comes Nick Trudeau looking to his inside. Here comes Tucker with a big run down the backstretch. Heading down into turn number 3. Backs out of it. Doesn't go in side by side. But Christopher Pendel now taking the lead back over from Don Francisco into 24. Now crossover move by Don Francisco. He's going to look to the inside of Pendel. Pendel holding his own on that outside line. Don Francisco's going to get loose out of 2. Has to chase it down the track to the inside wall. He's going to keep it going straight now. He's going to lose 3, maybe 4 more positions. Now up into the side of Christopher Thomas. Has to save it again. We stay green, but stacks everything up behind him. That stacks up Bolander and the rest of the field behind him. Now having to recover. Nicholas Don Francisco just went from the lead back in the pack to 12th. Now Bloodworth, he's loose out of 2 as well. And all through the meanwhile, Christopher Pendel has pulled out to just under a second lead here. 0.83 second lead over your second place of Peyton Tulloch. Bloodworth keeps it going straight. Now battling the 11 of Colin Bollinger. Now this is back here for the 14th position. Bloodworth restarted inside the top 10. Well, you can see just how quickly things can change here in racing. He got loose, lost a bunch of positions. Don Francisco got loose, lost a couple positions. Now, caution is out for the 4th time tonight. Not exactly sure why. Oh, major damage to the 22 of Zachary Brooks. Let's back it up and see what happened to the 22 here. You can see the front bumper barely hanging on. Something happened in front of him here. Let's get on our drone here and see if we can figure out what. Oh, he just lost it out of 2. I thought something happened in front of him, but he just lost it out of 2. Major damage to that 22 Chevy, but he's going to use his fast repair, and he is going to be back down and away here at Rockingham. But back out front, Christopher Pendel continues to lead the way here over Peyton Tulloch, Matt Tucker, Nicholas Trudeau, and Christopher Thomas has creeped up inside the top 5. Cole Larson in 6th, David Chandler 7th. Frank Hughes Jr. in 8th. Jonathan Duncan has worked his way back up to 9th. Remember, he was your pole sitter, folks. And then major implications on the initial start of the race. Took himself around and several others with them, but working his way up into the 9th position with Alberto Abar. Great recovery as well for that 13. He was also heavily damaged in that initial start, but he has worked his way up into that top 10. Don Francisco has fallen back to the 11th position in that 24. Colin Bollinger back in 12th. Stephen Henning in 13th, having a solid run. Dustin Bloodworth 14th after getting loose. He finished the stage inside the top 10. Now going to have to work his way back up, back there in that 14th position. Andrew Bonelander has had several implications tonight in that number 8 Chevy. He won last week at Vegas, but if he's going to make it 2 in a row, he has got his work cut out for him tonight in that Junior Motorsports Chevy. David Smith, he has also found himself in several incidents tonight. You know, he got ran over from behind. Not really his own fault, just the 61, nowhere to go behind him. Found himself into the back of the 48. So David Smith has had major implications tonight as well. But hey, it's all about overcoming them, you know? It's not how you start, it's about how you finish. With Robert Babcock right behind him in the 34, sorry. Solid run for him. And then in the 18th position, J.D. Larson with Zachary Brooks rounding out your top, 19th, with Steve Bocock rounding out your top 20. And Steve Bocock is actually had to back out of this one. So your 4 retirees of the night, Bocock, Ingram, Jester, and Ebos is still out there putting down laps. But those are your retirees for tonight's race. But we are under caution for the 6th time tonight here at Rockingham. Still a long way to go in this one. 79 laps to go. 79 laps, 79 miles. Still a long way to go in this one, folks. A lot of racing left. These drivers, they had a fantastic first half. Can they get it back going here in this one? 6th caution of the night. 5th one for an incident. Obviously, we had that stage break, and we are getting ready to go back racing this time. All right, here they come through turns 3 and 4 once again tonight. Getting ready to go back racing here on lap 93. We are going back racing here at the Rock. Green flags back in the air. Big wiggle by the 25. He's going to keep it going straight, I believe. Yes, he does. But that's going to stack up Christopher Thomas and David Chandler behind him. Nick Trudeau with a big restart on that outside. Now looking to the outside of Tuck. Tuck with a big run off that inside line. Now looking to the inside of Peyton Tulloch, heading down into turn number 3. But here comes Trudeau, and here comes Christopher Thomas, bringing David Chandler with them. Now side by side behind him, Cole Larson to the outside of Chandler. He's going to clear him for 6th.
Yellow.
Caution is out once again. Looking to see what was the cause for this one. Oh, the 27 of Stephen Henning had himself a great run going, a very solid race. Just kind of had to save the truck and had to slide up in front of the 51 of Dusty Bloodworth, and right around he went. Let's jump inside the cockpit of the 51. He lifted. You heard him lift. Right there, you heard him lift, but just a little too late there. And we are under caution for the 7th time tonight, as several trucks coming to pit road here in this one. But folks, we're going to step away once again here, and we will be right back to bring you more of the action from the Rock.
In the zone, that's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off as friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, it's so cold outside. Always feel like I could break now, but I never let it take me to that place now. I won't ever let my thoughts get away now. I got better things to do, picking fate now. I just wanna be the best, call me great now. I don't know if I'm okay or insane now. I remember better days on the playground, hoping I can find my way even when I'm feeling down. I fight, even when I don't know what is right. I'ma pick a side, and I'ma take pride. I will decide my fate, and I will never let them tell me who I am. If you try to shape me, I'll be damned. Planet on the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold.
All right, folks, the field once again side by side behind a pace truck with its lights off. Christopher Pendle is going to be leading the field back to the green flag this time with Peyton Tulloch in second. Row number 2 is going to go to the way of Trudeau and Tucker. These restarts, they've been wild. No doubt about it at all. Closing in on 75 laps to go. This time when the green flag drops, we're going to be at 77 laps to go. Still a long way to go in this one, but we are going to be back racing here at the Rock. Green flag back in the air. Oh, Frank Hughes Jr. is going to get loose. He's going to save it, though. Great save by the 61. Continues to take the battle to the back bumper of the 1, who's all over the back bumper of the 5. Bumper to bumper. Here comes Don Francisco looking to his inside. Not going to be able to do so. Single file through the majority of the field. Now here comes Bollinger looking to the inside of Jonathan Duncan, your pole sitter. Back out front, Payne Tulloch looking to bring the battle to the 94 of Christopher Pendle. Tulloch still looking for that elusive first win in the Truck Series. He got it done last season in the Cup Series for the first time, but looking to get that first win ever in the NEXXTCAR Truck Series on iRacing. He's come close several times. He has started the season out with back-to-back second-place finishes. Now, looking to improve that by 1 spot. Can he get it done? Well, 75 laps to tell the story for that 17 truck. Matt Tucker, he's had a solid rebound to this season so far here tonight. 3rd race of the season. He didn't get it started out the way he wanted to at Daytona. He finished last. That is definitely not the way you want to get the season started. And then he missed Las Vegas. So still a long way to go in the season, but definitely not the start to the season that you want to have as your defending Cup or Truck Series champion. Nick Trudeau's rebounded very nicely. He's up into the 4th position, plus 10 positions. But your biggest mover of the race so far tonight continues to be the 20 of Cole Larson, who now has his hands full of Frank Hughes Jr. on his outside and Colin Bollinger behind him. Oh, big run for the 11. Has to check up for the 20. Great heads-up movement by both those drivers, the 20 and the 11. Bit more so the 11 to check up and let the 20 make the move. Check up and live to see another lap here at the Rock. If he'd have kept his momentum going, he would have been on the outside of the 20, and we would have been under caution once again. But they kept it going straight. Now bringing the battle right back to the outside of the 20, heading into turn number 3. The 11, you can see the big drive around the outside. He's going to clear the 20 at the line. He's going to clear him heading into turn number 1. Can the 20 of Cole Larson get back to him? That is for your 9th position on the track. But back out front, they continue to battle. 0.2 seconds separates first and second. Pendel running the high line. Tulloch running the inside line. Trying to keep clean air on both their noses. Tulloch cannot really run the line at the 94 Pendel's running because you're going to see he's going to get tight right there. And that's going to allow Pendel to pull a little bit of a gap there between himself and Tulloch out of turn number 2. And now Tulloch's going to get back to that bottom. Now, Pendel really high up the track. He's going to keep it out of the marbles, but that might just open up the door a little bit for the 17. But the 94, the big run out of turn number 3. Or, I'm sorry, turn number 4. And here comes Tucker. Bolander still looking to rebound from incidents early on. Steve Bocock in the 12, back out there. -5, so he's back out on the track putting down some laps here. But out front, Christopher Pendel still continues to hold off Peyton Tulloch. Like I said, Tulloch looking for that elusive first win in the NEXXTCAR Truck Series on iRacing. He's got it done in the Cup Series, but he has yet to get it done here in the Truck Series, looking to get that egg out of the win column. But he's going to have to pass a tough truck tonight in that 94 of Christopher Pendel. Obviously, Pendel won the stage, and now he is showing the way here tonight. The first 2 races of the season, Dunford won the stage at Daytona. Bolander won the stage at Las Vegas, and both of them went on to win the race. Is the cards still going to play the same tonight for Pendel? Pendel won your stage break. Well, is he going to keep it going and lead that last lap and get the win here at Rockingham? Or will Tulloch, Tucker, Trudeau, or someone else bring the battle to him in these closing laps? Just under 65 laps to go here in this one, folks. Still a long way to go here at the Rockingham, but we are quickly closing in on that white flag. David Chandler, he's rebounded very nicely up to that 6th position after the incident with Don Francisco. Don Francisco also has rebounded nicely up to the 8th position. He had his own implications early on. You know, he got into David Chandler there a little bit, and then he got very loose, lost quite a few positions. But now he's going to get tight. The 11 is going to follow him into the outside wall out of turn number 2. Jonathan Duncan not close enough to take advantage of it. Now, Cole Larson has fallen outside the top 10, back into the 11th position with Dustin Bloodworth right behind him. Robert Babcock's got an absolute mirrorful of the 8 of Andrew Bolander behind him. Babcock drifts up the track. That's going to open up the door for Bolander. Bolander's going to take full advantage of it. Side-by-side drag race down Thunder Alley. Now heading into turn number 3. How aggressive do these two get? They stay side-by-side. Bolander, he's going to lead. He's going to take the position from Babcock at the line, but Babcock fighting right back, pinching him down on the entrance into turn 1. Now Bolander's going to clear him out of 2. Babcock looking to get right back at him with a little bit of a crossover move. Not going to be able to make it happen, but fantastic battles all around this track. And your only 2 retirements of the night, Ingram, Ingram and Cam Jester. Your only 2 retirements of the night. You hate to see it because Cam Jester last week had himself a fantastic race going. And then lost it on the outside of Nick Trudeau coming out of turn number 4. And then that was the end of his strong run. But Cam Jester, just all part of racing there. From hero to zero, just 1 week later here at the Rock. But Pendel continues to pull away from Tulloch just under 3/4 of a second here at 0.71. Trudeau's falling back quite a bit too, just under 2.5 seconds back. Tucker just under 3 seconds back, side by side with Christopher Thomas. Contact, basically a replica of what happened between Don Francisco and Chandler. That was exactly what that was, just not to the level that it was earlier. But I think Tucker Expected Thomas to cut the dog leg a little more than he did and just hooked the hard left so he could make the turn. And Thomas was there. And David Chandler right behind them thinking, yep, welcome to my world, Chris, because that's exactly what happened to me. But now Pendel just over a second ahead of Tulloch and the rest of the field. Andrew Bolander has worked his way up into the 11th position with an absolute parking lot right in front of him. Heading through turns 1 and 2, you can see the 3 drivers bumper to bumper, side by side in front of him out of 2. Slowly but surely closing in on those guys battling like that. When you get the side by side battling like that, all that does is just slow each other up. So that is going to allow the 8 to join the party here out of turn number 4. That's exactly what you want to see if you're Andrew Bolander. You want to see these guys battling side by side like that because now he is going to be there right soon to join that battle for your 8th position. But out front now, just a second and a half back. You see the gap. 55 laps to go this time, folks. Now, running into some lap traffic is Christopher Pendel. Jimmy Most gets way out of the way. Babcock does not do the same. This is what Peyton Tulloch needs. You can see the telemetry dropping big time from a second and a half back to just 1.28 seconds back. That's exactly what Peyton Tulloch needs and exactly what Pendel needs to not happen. And they are going to continue to run side by side in front of him. Oh, JD! Whew! You heard him get out of the gas right there. Pendel jumped out of the gas big time with JD not knowing where he was going to go. Now just 1.2 seconds back. Lap traffic has not been kind to Pendel. Tulloch's going to need a little more of that now. How does Tulloch get through the lap traffic? A lot smoother than Pendel's. Caution is out once again tonight for the 8th time. Alberto Abar in the 13 involved in this one here. Big damage to the 13. Big damage to the front of that 13 U.S. Army Toyota Tundra. Battling with Cole Larson out of turn number 2. Ooh, Alberto just does not quite make the corner. Right there, just does not quite make the corner. Cole Larson, obviously, like any driver would do, expected him to make the turn down in there, but Alberto just does not make it. Right around goes the 13 and major damage to the front of that Tundra. It's going to be interesting to see, does that 13 have another fast repair or not? I don't think he I think he had to use it earlier on in that first stack up on the initial restart. So I don't think he has another fast repair. So once again, major implications for the 13 of Alberto Abar. Daytona was not clear. Slid up in front of Nick Trudeau. That ended his race. Now, tonight, another not clear incident. Tried to slide up and just could not quite clear himself. He did have a fast repair in that 13. So Alberto Abar, he's going to get that truck down and away here from his pit stop using that fast repair. But is the damage done? Because you could see passing has been pretty hard to come by. Now that 13 truck is going to find himself back in the thick of it all in traffic. But folks, we're closing in here just under 50 laps to go in this one. Christopher Pendle has shown the way here tonight so far with Peyton Tulloch in second, Nick Trudeau in third. This is exactly what Tulloch and Trudeau wanted and exactly what Pendle was hoping would not come out. But folks, we're going to step away here for another quick break. Don't go anywhere, because as these laps keep winding down, the intensity is going to continue to rise.
Yeah, let's go. I'm unstoppable, do the impossible. I'm irresponsible, yet I'm phenomenal. I got an arsenal, I'm dropping bombs, you know. No, I'm not stopping, no. Conquer the obstacle. To the top, here I go, think I'm chosen to be the king of rock, think the people have spoken. I can hear the tick-tock of the clock, I'm in motion. So now I'm gonna pop, causing all this commotion.
Yeah, sometimes I think that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, ready to go, man, lock it low. That's right, I swear to God that I could drop it, bro. Yeah, I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable.
All right, folks, welcome back here to Rockingham Speedway. We are getting ready to go back racing here in this one. Green flag's going to be back out in the air. Everyone's going to get it rolling here in this one. These restarts have been crazy, folks. But these drivers going to keep it going. Tulloch and Tucker side by side out of turn number 2. Christopher Pendle's immediately going to jump out there to a big lead here, just under half a second. Now, Tulloch's going to clear Tucker. Now, setting his sights on the leader for his next target, but here comes the 61. Frank Hughes Jr. riding the high momentum of last week's Cup Series win. Now, that's going to get tight out of 2. Don Francisco and Chandler, remember, those two had their issues early on. Now, back to running side by side out of turn number 2. They're both going to keep it going straight. But how about the rebound for your pole sitter, Jonathan Duncan, up there to the 5th position? Now, Christopher Pendle just ran your fastest lap of the race with a 24.27. That, folks, is bad fast for that number 94. Tulloch, Trudeau, Hughes, Abar, they all just ran their personal fast lap of the race. Alberto back-to-back laps with his fastest lap of the race. So Alberto in that 13 racing with some anger in that 13. Now putting down quick, fast back-to-back laps. Now got to take care of them tires though. That's the big thing. Big wiggle out of 4, looking to the outside of Bollinger. Here comes Christopher Thomas into 5. Bollinger up into the wall, heading into turn number 1. That's going to hurt Alberto's. He's going to have to go to the outside. Now, is he going to get the big run? He comes down on Christopher Thomas. Caution is out for the 9th time tonight. Abar comes down on Christopher Thomas and hooks him into the outside wall. We are under caution once again tonight. Let's back it up and see what happened. Was it just a getting loose out of the corner for Alberto? We've seen it countless times tonight. Not exactly sure. Oh, well, Babcock's sideways behind him. Obviously, that didn't have anything to do with it, but let's see if our HVAC design blimp, or not blimp, but drone caught anything here. I don't know. That's a weird one. I think he kind of thought he was going to push up into the wall a little bit. He's trying to hook it back right before he makes contact with Christopher Thomas. Let's watch the steering wheel. I think he just got a little loose there. Yeah, that's a weird one there. But we are under caution for the 9th time tonight. 8th for incidents, and then obviously the 1 stage break. These cautions, they're definitely not what Christopher Pendel wants, but Tulloch and Trudeau will continue to take all the cautions they can as Steve Bocock is now, I think, going to be back on the lead lap. He will be. Steve Bocock in the 12. Remember, not too long ago, folks, he was 5 laps down. Now, Steve Bocock in that number 12 is back on the lead lap in this one. He's going to come down pit road here, get some new tires thrown on that Chevy, and he will get down and away and get back into this one. But 40 laps to go in this one. Still a long way to go. 9 cautions. They started out this race so good. Can we get back to the good green flag racing that we had to begin? Now, let's check out and see how your pit strategies are looking at this stint. You can see everyone has kind of been able to run around 42 to 45 laps on a set of tires and fuel. Everyone just kind of pitted here not too long ago under that last caution. So Robert Babcock, the longest running tires that he has on that truck right now, 17 lap tires. Steve Bocock actually just, he's going to get those 51 lap tires taken off that truck. He ran 54 laps the caution prior, or the stint prior rather. So now he's going to get some fresh tires thrown on that bad boy, and he is going to get down and away here and try to get back into the running here for the win. But folks, we are back side by side here in Rockingham Speedway. It's going to be interesting. Closing in on 37 laps to go this time. All right, there's your blimp view of the field. The pace truck getting ready to hook that hard left back onto pit road, and we are going to be green flag racing again. Tulloch, not the greatest of restarts, but Tucker is going to kind of help him out there a little bit by pushing Pendel so far into the corner. Now, side-by-side drag race out of 2. Tucker, he's going to look 3 wide, I thought for a second. Thinks better of it. Pendel up the track. Peyton follows him. Now Jimmy Emos in front of the leaders. Where does he go to let the leaders by? Peyton's going to lead his first laps of the night. Now, Emos, watch out, buddy. You're going to get ran over. Stacks the leaders up behind him. Peyton has to lift. That's going to open up the door for Trudeau. Tulloch shuts the door on the 89. Trudeau up the track. That's going to open up the door for Tucker. He's looking to the inside. Now, side by side, bumper to bumper for 5th on back. Duncan has his hands full with Chandler and several others. Here comes the 61 of Frank Hughes Jr. Don Francisco right behind him, powering his way to the outside of the 61. Here comes Colin Bollinger in the 11 as well, looking to pounce on the momentum run. Don Francisco, absolute parking lot in front of him. Let's jump inside the cockpit here of the 20 of Cole Larson and look at what he sees out front. Trudeau, sideways out of turn 2, saves it, but that's going to stack him up and rack him here in front of him. Now, diving to the inside of the 61 goes Cole Larson. Oh, Trudeau saves it, slides up the track in front of Don Francisco. Oh, that wasn't Trudeau. I'm sorry. Who was that? That was Duncan. Now Duncan, more contact with Don Francisco. Cautions out for the 10th time tonight. Steve Bocock, Dustin Bloodworth involved in this one. Steve had just got himself back on the lead lap. Now, damage to the 12. We're going to have several things to look at. Let's check out what brought out your caution here. Steve had just left pit road. Are you kidding me? Steve had just left pit road and gets involved in this one. Literally just an innocent bystander in the 12. Oh, man. Wow. Just an absolute innocent bystander in that 12 truck. No clue what's about to hit him. Staying way out of the way. And then here comes the 20. Here comes the 1. And here comes the 51. Wow. I don't even know what to say. I feel for Steve on that one. Absolutely just an innocent bystander. So what happened? Let's dissect some things here. Bollinger comes down a little bit. That forces Chandler to come down. And then they get ran over from behind by Babcock. And right around they go. Here comes Dustin Bloodworth down to the inside. But let's back it up here. And let's see what exactly happened to... it actually all stacks up here with Duncan. Let's check out his... the drone camera out front. Remember, we wanted to check this out here. Don Francisco drives it in there right into the right rear bumper of Duncan right there. And that stacks everything up behind him. Man. I feel for Steve on that one, man. Literally just an innocent bystander coming off of pit road. And now, Steve Bocock has officially had to retire out of this one. Well, this track has been interesting. No doubt about it here in this one. 30 laps to go when they cross the start-finish line this time. Pendel, can he continue his strong run here in the closing laps? Luck, Tucker, Trudeau, Duncan, your pole sitter. Do they have anything for Pendel? Pendel has been the class of the field all race long. And with 30 laps to go, it's going to get interesting. Pendel chooses that outside line once again, pinning Luck on that inside line. But this time, Tucker behind him. Remember, Tucker gave Pendel that huge push that last restart. Now, what kind of a restart push does Tucker give to Luck here with coming on 29 laps to go this time? Getting ready to go back racing. 29 laps to go here at the Rock. 29 laps. 29 miles of mayhem. Well, who is going to be able to rise to the challenge here in this one as we are going back green flag racing? Tucker tries to give Tulloch the big push. Tulloch misses a shift or something. I'm not exactly sure what happened on that restart, but now gets back to the inside of Pendel. Tulloch's going to keep his momentum on that low line, but right there you can see just where that high line thrives on these restarts. Tucker immediately jumps to the outside. Cautions out once again here on this restart. Don Francisco, Alberto Abar, Steve Henning, Steve Bocock. Major implications for several of these drivers. There's your big damage to the 13. You see Cole Larson sitting sideways as well. So it happened way in front of these guys. Something happened with Nicholas Don Francisco. You saw him sitting dead sideways in the middle of the track right there. He just pushes up off of 2. And then Henning just plows into him. Emos plows into him. And then where does Alberto get involved in this? Oh, Cole Larson just comes right back up the track in front of him. And here comes Steve Bocock, who I thought was out of the race. It popped up saying he was out, but apparently he was not. And comes back to the track and finds himself involved in another incident here. Tries to get it slowed up in time. Does a good job, honestly, of avoiding a much bigger incident. And that 12 truck's going to continue to be able to run. How many laps down is Steve now? He is currently back to 5 laps down here in this one. Alberto Abar sitting on pit road, getting that 13 truck fixed here. Definitely not the race he wanted here in this one by absolutely no means. But now he's going to get that 13 truck down and away here. Somehow that truck is going to be running without a front bumper. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, that 13 has a ton of damage. It's going to be interesting to see just how much damage does that 13 have. Abar, just 1 lap down, still finding himself in contention to get back on the lead lap, because if history is going to repeat itself, well, we're in for quite a few more cautions here in this one. 11th caution of the night, and we are closing in on 25 laps to go this time. Payne Tulloch in that 17 truck just came down and pitted, so he is going to have the freshest tires of the race of these guys. So that's going to be very interesting. His pit stop of 14.62. He's got fresh tires. David Smith in a 48, a fantastic rebound for him. He last pitted on lap 143, so he's only got 8 laps of wear on them tires, and the majority of it's been caution laps. Same with Andrew Bolander. He last pitted on lap 125 with the rest of the field. Christopher Thomas last pitted on lap 34. So Thomas, Smith, and Tulloch all have fresh tires, and everyone after Tulloch all pitted on lap 148. Alberto back on pit road in that 13. All right, folks. These race starts. They've been crazy. Will the insanity continue on these restarts as we are closing in on 20 laps to go in this one? 24 to go when the green flag drops this time. Pendel outside, Tucker inside. Row number 2, Trudeau inside, Duncan outside, and we are getting ready to go back racing here at the Rock. Green flag's back in the air. Babcock does not get going. That's going to stack up that outside line. That's going to cost them several positions here in this one. Now, Pendel clears Tucker big time on that inside line. Now, here comes Duncan looking for it on the outside line. Goes to the inside of Trudeau here, heading into turn number 3. They're going to get it settled out, but here comes Frank Hughes looking all over the outside of the 88 with the 34 all over his back bumper. 3 wide heading into turn number 1. That's going to get tight. Babcock up the track into the side of the 61. They all keep it going straight. Duncan's going to lose a couple positions from it. Here comes Bolander looking to capitalize. Babcock with a big 3 wide move to get that position up into the 4th position. Now, side by side for Duncan out back. Out front, Tucker trying to bring the battle to Pendel. 21 laps to go this time. Trudeau looking to bring the battle to Tucker as Tucker's falling back now. Just over a half a second behind your leader, Pendel. Side by side, they continue out back. Bolander trying to make up positions here in the closing laps of this one. Bain to luck back in that 9th position, -1 position from the restart. But folks, Pendel's going to lead them back to 20 laps to go. You see the ticker switch over. 20 to go here at the Rock. Tucker just under a second back. Trudeau has got his mirror full of the 34 of Babcock. We've seen how aggressive Babcock is going to be for positions. Sent it 3 wide. Now, looking to the inside of Trudeau, who's way up the track. Going to get the big run. Not quite clear, Babcock. Don't come up. Now, he's going to clear Trudeau out of 4. Babcock last pitted on lap 134, so he's got a little fresher tires than everybody else besides the ones that pitted on this one. To luck, 3 wide situation. Christopher Thomas had major implications out of turn number 2. Now, Tullock's going to work his way up to 7th, but here comes Colin Bollinger right behind him. Bollinger looking to make it 3 wide behind him. 3 wide. Bolander backs off. Crossover move on the 11. Bollinger's going to get the big run off that high line, though. He's going to clear Bolander. Now, here comes Cole Larson looking to crack back inside the top 10. Big save by the 5 of Thomas. Bollinger with the crossover move out of turn 4 and now looking to his inside heading into 1. Now, Tullock on the inside of Duncan. That is for 6th. Tullock trying to make those fresh tires work. Pendel and Tucker both pitted on lap 125. Babcock's got the freshest tires inside the top 5. He last pitted on lap 134. Everyone else inside the top 5 was lap 125. So now Babcock looking to try to use those fresh tires to his advantage. Drives it in deep all over the back bumper of Tucker. Christopher Pendel looking to set sail for the last 15 laps. Tucker and Babcock continue their battle. Tucker holding his own. How much more patience does Babcock have riding behind that 25? Watching that 94 slowly but surely get smaller in front of him. We've seen the aggressiveness out of the 34 so far in this one, especially since this final restart. How aggressive does he get to get past the 25? Time, quickly, running out on the 34 to run down your leader. Tullock has cracked the top 5. But 2.6 seconds back and a big gap between himself and Trudeau. So no pressure in front and no pressure behind for Tullock in the 17. But Pendel has pulled out to just over a second lead, 1.15 at the line. 1.2 at the line with 12 to go for Christopher Pendel, the man on a mission tonight. Duncan side by side with Cole Larson here out of turn number 2. Larson with a big slide. He's going to keep that 20 truck going straight. Now, here comes Duncan right back to the outside, but here comes Christopher Thomas looking at his inside. This is the battle for 8th. To Luck, using those tires perfectly. He has run down your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place trucks. Now, look at to the inside of Trudeau. Oh, Tucker just gave Babcock a huge shot through turns 3 and 4. 10 laps to go this time. To Luck has cleared Trudeau. Now Trudeau with the crossover. To Luck looking to the outside of Tucker. Tucker throws a big block. He's going to run him up the track 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Big move by To Luck. Oh, it's going to get tight. Trudeau saves it. Tucker backs out of it. Big move by the 17 and 89. Now, To Luck, back up the 3rd, setting his sights on Babcock in front of him. And all the meanwhile, Pendel looking in his mirror with 9 to go, saying, thank you very much. Continue to battle because you can see that lead has grown to just under 2 seconds. Now, To Luck, driving it underneath Babcock at a 34. Pushes up a little bit. Can he clear Babcock off of 4? He will. Babcock looking for a crossover. Not going to be able to do it down the front stretch. To Luck up the 2nd. 8 laps to go. Cole Larson continues side by side battling with Frank Hughes Jr. in the 61. This is your battle for 7th. To Luck running down Pendel ever so slightly. Is it enough? 7 laps to go. Pendel has got lap traffic at Jimmy Emos in front of him. Now, the lead just under 1.5. Let's pull up your lap time history, folks. You can see it right there. Oh! Smoke! To Luck has taken over the lead. Payne To Luck has just taken over the lead, folks. What has happened to your leader? Christopher Pendel falling back big time in the 94. Let's back it up real quick. We saw the smoke. Jimmy Emos, did he play a factor? Yes, he did. Jimmy comes down and hooks the 94 of Pendel. And your leader, who has dominated this race, taken out of his hands with 5 laps to go. And Peyton To Luck in the catbird seat has just taken over the lead here. You have got to hate it for the 94 of Pendel. I am speechless, folks. Unbelievable. Christopher Pendel, you see it, back into the 13th position. I don't know what to say. On his way to his first win of the season. Caution is out. We are going NEXXTCAR overtime racing as David Chandler involved in this one. Peyton To Luck. Hold on, buddy. You ain't going to victory lane yet. I am absolutely speechless. Chandler up against the wall through turn. Oh. Got hooked, it looks like, by Tucker. Right there. Tucker hooks him up into that outside wall and continues to ride it. Comes down. Maybe. Oh, yeah. He was not happy with Tucker there, and I don't blame him, honestly. I do not blame David Chandler at all on that one. Obviously, very upset with the way the 25 just hooked him into the outside wall. As a racer, that is the worst thing you can do to someone, is hooking them into the outside wall like that. I do not blame David Chandler one bit for being upset with Tuck. Watch that wheel. just hooks him into the wall. And just comes down and collects Tuck. Well, folks, are you not entertained? Man, the two best trucks all night. Major implications. Christopher Pendel, you hate to see it for that 94. Had the best truck all night long. And to get his race taken out of his hand by a lap truck, that's bad. You know, you hate to lose a race, but you really hate to lose it the way that Pendel just did. Currently being scored in that 12th position. What kind of race can he savage in this one? Tucker. You saw it, folks. He hooked David Chandler into the outside wall. David Chandler, not happy with the way he was raced, hooked Tucker right back up into the outside wall, and now the number 1 Bud Platinum Toyota sits on pit road. Major implications for several of these drivers tonight, folks. Well, all I can say is I hope your TVs are strapped down tight, because they are about to go for a wild ride here in your first attempt of NEXXTCAR Overtime tonight. Every race this season, we have gone to NEXXTCAR Overtime, and this one is no different. We are going racing next time. The lights are off on that iRacing Chevy Silverado pace truck. Peyton Tulloch, Colin Bollinger, make up your first row. Duncan, Cole Larson, make up row number 2. Don Francisco and Smith, row number 3. Row number 4, Babcock and Trudeau, with row number 5, Hughes and Thomas. Folks, this is gonna be interesting. All 174 of you guys tuned in tonight. You guys picked a good one for NEXXTCAR Overtime, because it's about to go down here, classic legend racing style, here at Rockingham. Is this the last time that pace truck is going to hook the hard left down onto pit road? Who knows? But we are overtime racing here at Rockingham. The field stacks up big time. Oh, round they go.
Yellow flag is out.
And we are going overtime racing, attempt number 2, as the restarts continue to plague the field tonight. Unbelievable, man. Bollinger does not get going. That stacks up that inside line behind him. Well, I don't know what to say right now, folks. Under caution for the 13th time tonight. Well, we're going to step away here, and we'll be back to bring you more of the action here in NEXXTCAR Overtime from Rockingham. Don't go anywhere, folks. You guys have stuck it out this long. You might as well stay to the end. So we will be right back.
Yeah, let's go. I'm unstoppable, do the impossible. I'm irresponsible, yet I'm phenomenal. I got an arsenal, I'm dropping bombs, you know. No, I'm not stopping, no. Conquer the obstacle. To the top, here I go, think I'm chosen to be the king of rock, think the people have spoken. I can hear the tick-tock of the clock, I'm in motion. So now I'm gonna pop, causing all this commotion.
Yeah, sometimes I think that I'm unstoppable. Yeah, ready to go, man, lock and load. That's right, I swear to God that I could drop it, bro. Yeah, I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable.
All right, folks, you see it. The lights are off on the iRacing pace truck. We are getting ready to go back racing for NEXXTCAR Overtime attempt number 2. There is your weather. That track temperature, 119 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's why all these trucks are slipping and sliding. But inside a couple of these helmets, inside the cockpit of a couple of these trucks, I guarantee you that temperature is well over 500 degrees, because we are probably going to have some hot-headed folks after this one. But we are getting ready to go back racing this time. Paint to luck. Looking for that elusive first win ever in the Truck Series. Duncan, your pole sitter. He's found himself back up there. Bloodworth looking to get as good of a finish as he can with J.D. Larson and Tucker and Bollinger behind him. Here we are. Green flag is gonna be back out in the air here. 2 laps to go. Up through the gears we go. Oh, Bloodworth's gonna go around. Saves it into 51. No, he's not. Caution's going to fly once again. Major implications for Tucker involved in this one as well. And folks, we're going back overtime racing again. Unbelievable. Well, to luck. Strap back in one more time, dude. Because you are going to have to do another good restart once again. 14th caution of the night here at Rockingham. Now, to luck. Last pitted on lap 148. Jonathan Duncan. Last pitted on lap 125. Duncan's coming down pit road. Going to give up a second place run as he has to come down pit road. Duncan, 57 laps on this run. Now 58. He is pushing the fuel. Major implications for your pole sitter. You can see it. To luck, 35 laps on these tires. Larson, last pitted on lap 173. J.D. Larson, that is. So he now has the freshest tires out of anybody on this track. Colin Bollinger, last pitted with Peyton 35 laps ago. Pendell obviously pitted when he was crashed out. Christopher Thomas, he last pitted on lap 178. He's finding himself up there inside the top 5. Man, this is gonna be an interesting finish here in this one, folks. Peyton Tulloch and J.D. Larson. Let's talk about what is gonna be your front row on this restart. Peyton Tulloch looking for that elusive first win from Greenville, Tennessee, and the NEXXTCAR Truck Series. Can tonight be the night he finally gets that number 17 Bent Creek Kennel Chevy Silverado to victory lane? And the guy that's going to be starting next to him, right behind him right now from Rockford, Illinois, just as hungry as Tulloch is, J.D. Larson, looking for that elusive first win as well in NEXXTCAR. Man, 2 veterans of NEXXTCAR getting ready to duel it out. Is it going to be one of those two heading to victory lane for the first time ever in NEXXTCAR? Or is someone else like Bollinger, Pendel finds himself back up in this thing? How aggressive is that 94 going to be? Remember, the win ripped out of his hands by a lapped car. Now finds himself back up in it. How aggressive is that 94 going to be? To Luck, how aggressive is he going to be blocking? If they get back to that white flag, it's all on from there, folks. They get back to that white flag. Next flag ends it, whether it's checkers or wreckers. The lights on that Chevy Silverado pace truck have been shut off. Everyone in the stands on their feet, ready to see if these guys can get it done on this restart. We've got 5 attempts at NEXXTCAR Overtime Racing, so 3 more attempts. Hopefully, we don't have to use them. But what a front row we have here, folks. To Luck, Larson. Both of them looking to get the egg out of the win column in their NEXXTCAR Racing League history. 17 inside. Very interesting decision there for Tulloch. You have seen a majority of the leaders pick that outside lane on the restarts. This time, Peyton goes inside. Larson outside. How aggressive do they get on this restart? Time will tell. Pace truck on pit road. We are back racing here in Rockingham. Green flag back in the air, 2 to go. Here comes Pendel looking to the outside of Larson immediately. Larson runs him up the track. Pendel has to back out of it. Payne does not get a good exit out of 2. Here comes Larson to his inside. Oh, Larson runs up the corner. He's going to go around. Christopher Thomas involved. Caution is out once again in 3 and 4. J.D. Larson once again ripped out of his hands in this one, folks. Peyton Tulloch is going to have to hold off the truck to beat all night long of Christopher Pendel. And we are going back overtime racing attempt number 4. He just drove it in there deep and could not hold it. Peyton gave him plenty of room. Absolutely no doubt about it. But JD, obviously, with the big run out of turn number 2, went to the inside and then had this shallow entrance and pushes up right there into the side of Peyton. And right around goes the 18 and Christopher Thomas, just nowhere to go along with Colin Bollinger. And then Alberto, just down the track goes Bollinger in front of him. Steve's going to finally work his way through a wreck tonight. But folks, man, I don't know. I am speechless on how the finish of this race has gone. It started out so well. They went the first, 40, 50 laps after the first initial restart caution, and then they went 40 or 50 laps before their next caution. It was looking like it was going to be a bright race for these guys, and now I just don't know. But Peyton Tulloch's going to have to hold off the best truck all night long once again. Pendel up to second. Nicholas Don Francisco in third. Bloodworth fourth. And Cole Larson somehow has survived in that number 20 to get inside the top 5. And how about the guy in 10th right now? Steve Bocock. And all these cautions found himself 5 laps down early on. Now, back on the lead lap in this one, folks. Just an unbelievable turn of events for that 12 truck. Talk about sticking it out, getting what you can out of these trucks, and just a great rebound for him. Christopher Thomas involved in that one. Not the finish he's going to want in that 5. Definitely looked like he was on his way to a great finish here in this one. Folks, we're going to pull up your playoff standings. Several of these drivers tonight, major implications for a lot of them. Bollinger came into the race 4th in the points. Major implications. J.D. Larson, you just saw him. Major implications, but it's looking like he's not going to be able to have the finish as he is 1 lap down. Then you've got David Chandler. Remember, he was in that incident with Tucker. So Chandler not going to have the race finish that he wanted. Several others. Trudeau, he's in 7th. Babcock, he's outside the top 10. So a lot of these guys that have came into this race with a big lead over the bubble, well, they're not going to have the finish. Then obviously closer to the bubble. A-Bar, not a good race for him tonight. Bloodworth, he's finding himself up inside the top 5. Henning, just +7. He's not having himself a great race. 27 laps down in the 19th position. Christopher Thomas, you saw him involved in that last incident. So a lot of these guys right on that playoff bubble involved in a lot of trouble tonight. But folks, 2 more attempts at NEXXTCAR overtime. Now, Paint to Luck chooses that outside line for this one, pinning the 94 on that inside line. Pendel gets another shot at this one. To Luck, can he hold him off one more time? Green flag's back in the air. 3 wide already out back. To Luck's going to hold off the 94, but now the 94 is going to get the big run out of turn number 2. Tullock's actually going to get a great run himself out of turn 2. Trudeau, Bloodworth, 3 wide. Bloodworth stuck in the middle. Can we get back to the white flag this time? Tullock. Oh, the 94 is up into the outside wall. White flag out in the air this time, presented by HVAC Designs here at Rockingham. Tullock's going to have to hold off Pendel. Pendel with a big move. Crossover move down the backstretch on Tullock. Tullock is going to have to drive it in deep on that high line. We are going to have ourselves another fantastic NEXXTCAR finish, but it's going to be Pendel coming out of turn number 4, getting back to the win here at this one in Rockingham. Tullock for 3 weeks in a row is going to finish second. You know, you can't even be upset if you're to luck on how that one came down with Christopher Pendel going to victory lane tonight. Pendel had to overcome so many obstacles, had to come back from being wrecked by a lap truck, and had to work his way back into contention to go to victory lane in that 94 truck from Aberdeen, Ohio. He is going to start the season off 3 different winners tonight. Christopher Pendel going to burn it down on the front stretch here as we're finally going to see the checkered flag in a wild race tonight. Definitely cannot say Christopher Pendel did not earn that one. The best truck all night long. Well, he showed that even at the end, after everything that happened, he was still the man to beat tonight. Let's go and let's check out your race results here for tonight. Christopher Pendel going to put that number 94 in victory lane for the first time in his iRacing on NEXXTCAR career. Paint to Luck. Back-to-back weeks finishing second. Bolander rebounded perfectly for third. Matt Tucker fourth. Nicholas Trudeau fifth. Jonathan Duncan rebounded for sixth with Don Francisco seventh. Dustin Bloodworth eighth. Cole Larson ninth. And Steve Bocock somehow sticking it through and bringing that 12 truck home with a top 10. J.D. Larson 11th, Christopher Thomas 12th, Chris Bollinger 13th, Robert Babcock 14th, Frank Hughes Jr. in 15th with David Smith in 16th, David Chandler in 17th, Stephen Henning 18th, Alberto A-Bar 19th with Jimmy Emos rounding out your top 20. Zachary Brooks in 21st with Cedric Ingram 22nd, Cam Jester 23rd. Well, folks, stick around for the post-race interviews coming up right after this break because they could be very interesting. Don't go anywhere. You are not going to want to miss them as we will be right
they're looking up to me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now. Girl, you got me shook from the way your body looks. Got me riding hooks, got me feeling like a rook. I don't do it by the book, but for you I'll take a look. Don't know what your mama took, sweet and spicy like a cook, yeah. I'll keep it real, let's make a deal. Buy you a meal if you just let me feel. Get out your heels, grab on the wheel. Back to my place at the top of the hill. Don't have regrets, I know what's next. She need a fresh, I'll be back in a sec. Look at them legs, don't make me beg. Back to the room, let me show you my bed. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. I could look at you all day, watch the way them hips sway. Love your body, so I pray, don't you dare take it away. Can't control what I say, lost my mind cause your frame. Hey girl, what's your name? Lit me up just like a flame. Body in motion, I feel the commotion, be on you like lotion. I'm honest and broken, I flow like the ocean. I feel you were chosen to fix me, I'm broken. My heart that you stolen, hey. Stay with me, play with me, lay with me. Hate to see when you leave, chemistry feels like it's destiny. I just want you laying next to me, and I really don't want you to ever leave. On your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling.
All right, folks, welcome back here to your post-race interviews from a wild Rockingham Speedway. Your race winner, Christopher Pendell. Man, what a bunch of overcoming of obstacles you had to do tonight.
Yeah, man, it was tough. I had a heck of a race there. I mean, I was just out minding my own business, and an unfortunate incident happened. I'm not going to bash the guy here in the chat. So I mean, it just happens. Like I've been in that position before, but it was awesome to come back from the win. I mean, if we wouldn't have had all them cautions, I obviously wouldn't have caught him. And to be honest with you, I had so much front end damage, I didn't think it would have mattered. But congrats on Peyton there. He raced me clean and hard, and he was there second. He was in second with me for a little bit, and he was catching me there before that incident. And he probably would have got to me if that caution didn't come out. And I'd have loved to seen what happened there to see if I could have held him off. But nevertheless, I'll take a win, man. The Rock is probably one of my top 3 favorite racetracks. I always run well here, whether it's ARCA, trucks, Xfinity, Next Gen, it don't matter. I love this place. I don't know what it is about this place, but I love it. And I was just happy to have a good. I was happy to win. Obviously, I was hoping after that incident come back and get a decent points night. And like I said, they all started wrecking in front of me, and I was able to miss most of the wrecks there and get up to him. And he raced me clean there on that restart, so I raced him back clean, and I got underneath of him, and I just passed him and was able to win it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can see exactly why you love this track. Wherever you needed to put that 94 to make passes or make things work for you, you were able to put it there, and it worked out exactly how you had planned. But let's talk about the big story of the night. These restarts, man. What was so treacherous about the restarts tonight?
Just the spinning the tires. I mean, like you got it. you can't get on the gas too hard when you get on the restart, especially old tires, especially this place. I was I don't think I spun the tires once all night because like I said, my experience here and just knowing how to take off in these things, and it's just you can't gas it as soon as you hit see green. You gotta feather it a little bit, give like before the green hits, you just got to give a little bit of gas and then start to slowly take off and then give it go because that way you're not spinning the rear tires on exit. But yeah, the restarts were the problem. I think a lot of good trucks got tore up in a lot of restarts here, but um, yeah, just take care of your stuff on restarts here. Even these old abrasive tracks, it don't just not here, but I've learned it from past experience in these races. You always take it easy on these restarts. I think one of my teammates in my chat there was starting in third just because he didn't want to spin the tires. So that's pretty much all I can say about that, man. Just don't spin the tires.
Absolutely. Well, the race definitely finished the way it should have. Like you said, I would have loved to have seen how that battle between you and Tulloch would have played out. But absolutely, 119 laps led, and more importantly, you locked yourself in the Truck Series playoffs. So congrats on that. You had a lot of obstacles. No one can say you didn't earn this one tonight, buddy. So congrats on that one.
I appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Thanks for broadcasting the race. I've kind of been on and off watching it under cautions. So you guys have been doing a good job. I appreciate it, and I appreciate NEXXTCAR letting me race this season. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season and definitely looking forward to racing for a championship.
Absolutely, brother. All right, moving on to for back to back to back. That's right. 3 weeks in a row. Runner up, Peyton Tulloch. What's going on, man?
Yeah, what up, Ronnie?
Man, so close, yet once again so far away. If a couple cautions would have played out differently, it might have been you parking that truck in victory lane tonight.
Yeah, man, it's just I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm at this point, like, I should start thinking about changing my number to the number 2, or better yet, maybe I know I have Erickson working on some paint schemes. Maybe instead of having a whitish silver truck, I should turn it gold, seeing all the silver medals I'm earning. But yeah, man, like you said, just I mean, looking back on this race, I just like you talked about at Vegas, like I look back on that race the same way I did this one. I don't think I made any wrong moves. I really don't. I did everything right. I had the race winning strategy. I'd have loved to see that race go green to see how it played out. I do think I would have won it, but hey, it'd have been a fun battle. Who knows? I mean, it's racing. That's why we're out here. Um, and then even the green white checkers, I mean, I'd run away and really had it, set, and then they just kept wrecking. So I can't control guys running out of talent in the back. So hey, it is what it is. Our day's coming, but I'm really proud of the day for ADR, man. Like, I'm really proud of my teammates tonight who showed up. I'm proud of Steve Bocock for not giving up all night after a terrible night. I'm proud of Alberto for even having a rough race, standing in as long as he could. And I'm proud of D-Blood battling all night. So shout out to those guys. We're all getting close, man. I know we're all frustrated as a team, but every week we're improving. Every week we're all running good. So we'll get there eventually.
Absolutely, man. Like you said, you really couldn't have done anything different, especially stopping that 94, because that truck was on rails tonight. Walk us through what happened between you and JD Larson there on that one restart where you two were on the front row and then he just slid up into turn 3.
I mean, that's just, a driver trying to go get his first win. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that I was winless in the 2 top NEXXTCAR series. I'm still winless in trucks, so I fully understand. I mean, I was expecting it too. I mean, I'm sitting there talking to my teammates, asking who's on what tires. At that point, I figured out that pretty much everyone around me was on new tires, and he was the leading car out of that, and he's going for it. I mean, he's got to get it. He knows there's guys that are quick behind him, and he just overshot a little bit. Just a drive mistake. I know he didn't mean to do anything there, but hey, we're all trying to win, and that's just a product of it.
Absolutely, man. Well, I know you don't want to hear it for the 3rd week in a row, but hey, congrats on that 2nd place finish.
Yeah, really proud to get Bent Creek, another podium. We'll get you to victory lane eventually, but hey, if you're looking for a Christmas puppy, we do have puppies coming up, so please hit them up on Facebook, man. I mean, I'm working my ass off to keep getting them these shout outs, and they're working their ass off to, get you cute puppies and, make some life a little bit happier. So hit them up, and thank you, Ronnie.
Absolutely. Moving on to your 3rd place finisher, Andrew Bolander. Man, what a race you had, somehow working your way up there to a podium 3rd place finish.
Yeah, it wasn't the way that I was thinking it was going to happen, but we somehow got involved in one of the big wrecks in the restart and missed the other two. So a lot of luck happened to that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a lot of good trucks torn up tonight. Like you said, you're involved in that one big one, and you know it was interesting to see. You know, Pendle obviously had his issues. He was able to rebound. You had your issues. You were able to rebound. Tuck had his big issues. You know, and a lot of these guys were able to rebound, and it was honestly great to see. You know, at a track like this where passing was not easy.
No, it was definitely not easy. I started them back like I always do, just to try to miss everything that happened to me in the race, and unfortunately got caught up on that lap one start wreck and repaired that, and we just kept on repairing it, and then got ourselves up there, and then Napa bounced off the wall and about ended our night, but luckily he didn't.
Absolutely, man. Well, congrats on that third place finish. You're already locked into playoffs, so I'm sure this is exactly what you wanted to do tonight.
Yes, and I want to get some stage points, and I came up one spot short on that, and but overall top three, I'll take it.
Absolutely. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to your fourth place finisher. We just mentioned it. Matt Tucker. Man, what a rebound you had to make tonight.
How's it going, Ronnie? I think that was interesting race. I don't know about from your perspective, but
it was interesting to say the least.
yeah, we was first stage was very tire dependent, where we had guys coming and going. It had some good battles with the Sheep and Nick. We were battling really over that top 5 battle. But then second stage, everything just went chaotic. It was cautions breed cautions, and everybody was just going hard. But yeah, like you said, good rebound. We was gonna finish about anywhere from 5th to 10th, and then had the incident with David, and then came back, got the tires, fast repair, and then somehow, some way, 4th place finish, six in the stage and 4th overall. It's not a bad night after all the chaos. Remember how we talked about in the podcast earlier this morning, chaos? Well, you got that tonight.
You are not wrong. Your big chaos of the night, you mentioned it, the incident with David Chandler. What happened?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Like, I don't know what he had. He was probably on fresh tires and looked like he just kind of came up and we just met. I don't know what happened, but then he just, I guess he thought I did it on purpose and just cleaned me out after. So that's what happened with that. So, but no, I was just trying to, because he got a run on Jonathan behind me and was to my right rear, and it looked like he was trying to arc the corner or get a turn into the corner and just clipped my right front, and I'm already on the wheel, and it just kind of took the wheel. We just made contact. So that was definitely not intentional, but it just happened. So, but no, after that, he just kind of cleaned me out after. But we had a fast repair, so we were able to use it and come back for top 5.
Absolutely, man. Well, congrats on that comeback and finishing 4th.
Yep. Thanks for all you do too.
Thank you. Moving on to your 5th place finisher, Nicholas Trudeau. Man, you had a pretty quiet night tonight.
Sure, we'll go with that. we had a good truck. We started towards the back, and we were picking them off in the first stage, and we were just trying to save the right front. And we were probably we didn't practice at all, so I was just learning the track as through that first stage, and we were getting quicker and quicker. And we got up to top 10, and then eventually, after I think first pit stop or second, got into the top 5, and we're battling with those guys up front. And then we got some good stage points. I think we got 5th in the stage, so 4th or 5th in the stage, one or the other. But it was a good stage. 3rd, I'll take that. Yeah. So, good stage points, and then good finish. I didn't think we were going to finish in fifth, restarting way in the back. But those green white checkers helped us, and I was super aggressive on the restarts, more than I wanted to be. But we had a top 5 car and our truck, and no, we deserved to finish there. So I was a little maybe too aggressive, but
Absolutely. You mentioned it starting in the back and having to work your way up, but and I'm asking you the same thing that I asked Andrew. How were you able to do it when it seemed like passing was very hard to come by tonight?
yeah, I think a lot of the passing happened, people making mistakes and overdriving the car, or people getting loose out of the corner and getting a run on them. So you kind of had to set them up. And then later in the run, I think a lot of guys got passed, if they were using up their stuff. So I think a lot of the passing came later on when the tires were worn, and I actually liked the truck a lot better when the tires were worn out. Um, no, it seemed to handle a lot better than at the beginning. It was really loose at the beginning of the run on new tires, and I hated it. So, um, no, we were slipping and sliding after the stage, and then long green, or no, the longest run that we were able to get on tires, and no, it felt a lot better. So yeah, we were able to make up some ground, and I was pushing it 3 wide on some of the restarts at the end there to try to make up some ground, and luckily we were able to come home with a top 5, which I'm really happy about.
Absolutely, man. Well, congrats on that.
Thanks, bud.
All right, moving on to your pole sitter of the night. Man, your action tonight started at the drop of the green flag. What's going on, Jonathan?
What's up, Ronnie?
Not much, man. Yeah, your race got started in a very interesting way tonight. I talked about it with Pendel on the restarts. They were just insane, and it all started from the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, I got to. I honestly wasn't expecting pole, but got there and was coming to the green and wasn't sure what gear to start in, and I made the wrong choice and just made a fool of myself. But we'll learn from it and try to do better next time, I guess.
Absolutely, man. So, yeah, obviously when you did that, you found yourself back in traffic for the majority of the race after that. But, man, able to rebound up to 6, that's got to feel pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, I just didn't feel like I had. I didn't really want to push the car as hard as a lot of the guys were pushing it early in the run. And that first pretty long green flag run we had, I was able to make up some spots toward the end. But yeah, just kind of got pushed around a little bit early on in the run. But yeah, ended up avoiding the stuff toward the end, kind of when we needed to, and got up to 6. So definitely take it after that start for sure.
Absolutely, man. Well, congrats on that 6th place finish.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Yep. Moving on to another guy that had his trouble on the restarts, Nicholas Don Francisco. What's going on, man?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah. Just like Jonathan, you definitely had your fair share of restart drama.
Yeah, we started out pretty good, and then after the stage break, my race went downhill. So, but luckily, I brought home 7th again. So 2 weeks in a row, got in the top 7. So can't complain.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially at a track like this where, passing was hard to come by, and it seemed like nowhere on a track was safe. Whether you were leading, back in the middle of the pack, or at the back of the field, nowhere was safe tonight.
Definitely. At least around me, anyway, because I feel like I was caused most of it. But anyway, I do apologize to all the trucks that were involved in the stuff that I caused.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, congrats on back-to-back weeks and 7th.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Moving on to your 8th place finisher, his first top 10, Dustin Bloodworth. What's going on, man?
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
I blew that harder than a hooker who gets paid by the minute. I'll tell you that. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
I had Peyton right there. We were 1-2. I was like, oh, we got a good shot here, and I don't know what it was, but cleared the 88, gassed it up, and it just came around.
Yeah, absolutely. That was trouble with a lot of guys tonight coming out of 2 and 4. You know, it was just, it was slick, man. I kept my eye on the track temp, and at one point it was up to 128. So that track was very hot and very slick.
Yeah, I don't know what it was after I stopped and put tires on. I think it was like right that green white checker, and it would not go. I don't know. Even on that last restart, I restarted right behind Peyton again, and down in 1 and 2, and it did not want to go. And heck, fourth all the way to 8. So I don't know what happened, but hey, at least we got a top 10 out of it, I suppose. Been should have had one in at Daytona, correct on the last lap. So we're just trying to get in the playoffs. So doing all we can.
Absolutely. Well, you helped yourself a lot with that 8th place finish and finishing the stage in 10th. So congrats on picking up some very valuable points tonight.
Yep, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Moving on to your 9th place finisher, Cole Larson. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, Ronnie?
Man, just like it seems like everybody else in the top 10, you had your fair share of overcoming of obstacles tonight, too.
Yeah, right. There was a lot of times when just got caught up in wrecks, but luckily I was able to not have a lot of damage from them. But just madness tonight.
Yeah, you were not wrong. It was insane, all the way from the drop of the green flag to the checker and the 4 overtime attempts. But starting 20th, able to work your way up to 9th. That's a pretty solid day.
Yeah, right. Well, right at the start, I was able to get through that wreck right on the first restart, and was just able to hold up there until right at the end of the race when I got in a bunch of wrecks.
Absolutely, man. Well, congrats on that top 10, and you finished 9th in the race and 9th in the stage. So just like Bloodworth, picking up some very valuable points. So congrats on that one.
Yep, thank you.
And moving on to your final interview of the night, your 10th place finisher, somehow, some way, Steve Pocock, surviving the drama tonight.
Yeah, how's it going, Ronnie? I don't know. I'm having a problem with iRacing. I'll run 20 laps and it would boot me, and I would hurry up and get back in. And the guys were nice enough, and I don't think anybody has a problem with. I got the laps back that I lost while I was when iRacing failed. I didn't get any lap back that I actually lost running. I think I screwed up and got myself 3 laps down. So I made those 3 laps up and all that melee in the end, and then come back 10th. So I had a good truck. I just couldn't stay in the game for some reason. I don't know what's going on. We're gonna have to get one of you smart guys to help me out.
You might be going through the same thing that I go through when I do, sometimes do the broadcast where it freezes on me, and maybe like inside the game it's kicking you out, because that's why sometimes y'all see me leave and then come back in. So yeah, I guess experiencing a little same issues there, but yeah.
It's something with, I think it's something with the headset, because one time it said that a new device had been added and something. I don't know how the headset could kick me out of the game, but something's going on. And like I said, the guys were real cool. They let me get those laps back that I lost while I was booted. And then I sped on pit road, and then I forgot to change tires, and it was just anything that could go wrong did. And somehow there at the end, they wrecked enough, and I just kept at it. And I'll take the top 10 because honestly, I think most guys would have just left after they'd been booted. I think I got booted 4 times, so I think they would have probably left the second time. But hey, this is something I can have fun doing, and I just wanted to run because I'm not super bad at this track, but I didn't have nothing to win, but I might have finished top 10 if nothing had happened. So.
Absolutely, man. Well, congrats on the top 10 tonight. Definitely had to overcome a lot, so congrats on that one.
Yep, appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Well, that is going to conclude. Actually, hold on. All right. I see he is in here. We got Matt Tucker's point of view. Your last interview of the night, David Chandler. What's going on, man?
Ronnie, why'd you have to pick on me, man? I don't want an interview tonight.
I'm sure you didn't, but I saw your name. I was like, nope, here we go. All right, buddy.
Dang it. I knew I should have ran.
You heard Tuck's take on it. What happened between you and that 25?
Yeah, I had a big run, and I took it to his inside, and I thought he was going to run a little closer to the wall than he did, and either he started turning sooner than I thought he was going to turn, or or I came up. I'm not sure. The replay, it's hard to tell with the replay. It looks like he turns into me. It could have been me touching him that turns him into me. I don't know, but I come up. I get spun. I hit the wall. Snaps the steering instantly, and I'm trying to get her off the wall, and I'm looking. Next thing you know, he's there underneath me, and at that point, it was a bit too late, and it was done deal right there. It's unfortunate. We had a fast truck, and Rocketham's one of my best tracks, and I was aggravated all night. I just kept getting into shit, and I don't know. Maybe I was just pushing too hard and causing my own issues. I'm not sure, and it's just an unfortunate night for me.
Yeah, absolutely. It kind of seems like a little bit of a racing incident, kind of like you were leading to. Exactly what happened between you and Don Francisco through the front tri-oval there. I think he expected you to be a little lower, and you weren't. I guess maybe trying to side draft or something, and he just hooked a hard left like you normally would coming out of that second dog leg, and you just happened to be right there.
Yeah, kind of on that same incident. Like Matt said, he's pretty spot on. You're trying to get that arc into the corner so you don't wash up too big, and end up getting into the guy's door. And kind of the same incident, but that one I immediately recognized once I touched him, and I kind of pulled off, and it sent me through the grass, and I was fine with that because it's as long as we didn't cause damage to each other or cause a caution. The last thing I want to do is cause a caution. And I knew I could make my way back up there, but we touched there, and I pulled hard left to get off of him. It sent me through the grass and kept it out of the wall towards the inside, and luckily, I think it was my teammate let me back up on the track. Maybe it was Steve Henning, I can't remember, but they let me back up on track, and we just pedaled down. I was definitely being aggressive tonight. Little season one, Dave. Trying to, it's one of my best tracks. I was looking for a top 3 finish for sure, and it just, I don't know. Like I said, I was probably just pushing too hard and just causing my own issues. So I do apologize for Matt getting into him, wrecking him. Luckily, he had a fast repair there, but it did feel like he did it on purpose. I ain't gonna lie. It felt like he did it, but I went back and watched the replay and everything like that. It's so hard to tell. I honestly, I don't know. So. It is what it is. We'll move on to Pocono. It's another one of my really good tracks, and we'll give her a shot. A lot of good racing out there when it was green, and congratulations on Pendle, and Peyton. You'll get it here soon, man. Just keep pushing.
Absolutely. Well, that is going to conclude your post-race interviews from tonight's race at the Rockingham Speedway. Man, it was a tough one for these boys tonight, but Christopher Pendle able to overcome a last couple laps incident to grab his first win of the season in a truck series. Is going to start off the season with 3 different winners. Next week, it doesn't get any easier heading to Pocono. And so far, these drivers, whoever has won the stage, has went on to win the race. Will that trend continue next week? Well, only time will tell. So make sure you tune in for that. And then tomorrow night, well, the Next Gen Cup cars head right back here to the Rock for their shot at it. So make sure you tune in for that. But that is going to be us signing off for the final time here in the Truck Series from Rockingham Speedway. I hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure you all hit that like button. Enjoy the rest of your week, and good night.